I still think we should have had him on here. If he died, we could have been world famous.
I also didn't turn on my mic for that whole thing.
Yeah, professional. Hi, the tip. Game guru person directions. I don't know where I am, but we're doing things.
Fuck.
You're not the only one. Every time I do a collaboration with someone, my mic goes on last.
Well, I did introductions. They said things. You could hear them.
Yeah, he was pointing in directions, so some sense was made.
Thank you, Ninja, for letting me.
Nate, quiet. I mean steak, so.
I shoved 3 corn dogs down my throat. 10 minutes.
I am drinking adult water.
Adult water. I was going to mix a drink. Figured bean. That's how that went.
All right, so the normal beginnings, I'm assuming, are going to be we talk about what we've been doing lately, right?
Correct.
All right, so
Start with our.
yes.
Go ahead, Spike.
I'm not sure if that's how that works, but I can talk about what I've been doing. That's fine. Masturbating, your team game.
Damn it. Let's see. Like Nate said, GameGooru21. Currently, what have I been doing? Are we talking IRL or Twitch?
Anything kind of like, I mean, like life-oriented or gaming-oriented. What have you been up to? Any new games?
I've been playing Dungeon Defenders 2 for 61 hours straight.
That'll do it.
That's about it on the gaming side of the world. I just opened up my 3rd server at my business. It just cost me $6,000. I am not happy.
I heard about that. You said, was that oriented around the Starbound thing that occurred?
No, the Starbound thing was I was using one of the spare blades in the basement to help out a caster, and then the entire blade and the entire server was on, decided to get DDoSed.
Awesome.
Was it that cool?
What was hosted on there was a private sector board for a security company.
Fantastic.
That'll do it.
So
Jeez.
they came after me for actually more along the tune of 120 grand, and I talked them down to 10%.
Well, Game Guru, you are the probably. All right, I'm going to be honest. Doesn't matter who we have as a guest on this show from this point on, nothing's going to beat that story.
Right.
I played a brand new game that's an alpha. Yeah, well, Game Guru just lost like 12 grand.
We've won our internet.
I don't want.
Well, Mike's just going to keep talking about fappings.
Well, no, I can actually cover something that I've been doing lately.
Would you like
Besides masturbating.
I could, yeah. I picked up Dragon Age Inquisition, and I've been playing that a little bit. The single player, not so much, because I kind of want to save as much as I can for that, for the actual playthrough I'm going to be doing. But I played the multiplayer, and I'm finding some NVIDIA exclusive problems, which is really nice to experience. And that the gameplay feels like it was copy-paste directly out of like Elder Scrolls Online or Guild Wars 2. Like combat-wise, it feels identical, and it's kind of gross.
Like,
but that's what I've been doing.
Gross? Like taking a shower gross, or like laying in bed naked with Jay Leno gross?
Would it be bad to say I find Jay Leno's chubby hot?
No, quite right.
No, it's just,
I mean, none of us were quick to stop you there.
I mean, I'm not really a fan of how it feels gameplay-wise. I had a person tell me that it was very similar to Mass Effect in terms of the concept, and it's not. So that's what I've been doing, is experiencing something that I was hearing a lot of good things about and eventually discovering to be not as good. At least for the multiplayer. Haven't played the single player yet, so
Yeah.
we'll see that.
Darksiders. That's all I've been fucking doing.
That ending.
Yeah.
It's so epic. They come in. 4 horsemen finally released to belong the world. Endgame.
That being said, finished Darksiders 1 today, started Darksiders 2. 5,000 million, 100% times better than...
Fuck yes.
That game feels fantastic. Everything that it does.
Exactly.
Yeah, the camera's the right distance away. It fucking...
It actually...
The combat, everything.
Mm-hmm. So much nicer than the first
experience. The items, enemies, lock on.
I wouldn't go that far, but I mean, it's definitely better than the first one.
Infinitely better.
And those giant dwarves. How about them giant dwarves?
I made that combat. Combat?
You made that combat?
You
made that combat about the comments.
I was gonna say, if you made the combat of Darksiders, he's a very rich man.
I made the game. Besides that, life things, I got sick. Times that.
Good times. Good.
If Guru
times.
wasn't here, we'd have a 2.
Now I feel bad about inviting Game. I'm kidding. I love you, Game.
I've been doing random pop-up art streams when I can't sleep. Last one went midnight till 5 o'clock in the morning. Screen.
Gray's break screen?
Yeah, I drew a chibi version of him on a cast a couple nights ago when I couldn't sleep.
Oh.
And then I made a break screen out of that.
You do art? On cast, I mean. I know you do art, but...
It was the first time. It's a thing I want to start doing. Just kind of like, either when I'm not casting and I'm fucking bored out of my mind or I can't sleep, it happens. Gives me something. And at least actually having the chat there to talk to actually kept me on task to finish a piece.
That's another thing that happened to me. Last week, I got 126 followers, and Sunday, 118 of them just vanished. It's gone. It was great. I was just shy of 1,250 followers, and now I'm at 1,149.
Massive about face. Forward, get the fuck out!
Right?
Yep.
That
happened to me. That's actually not the first time that's happened to me. I stagnated at about 400 followers for like 3 months. And I was regularly gaining followers. It's just every time I went over 400, Twitch was like, you go back down to like 40.
Oh, would you stop making...
Clang, 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 clang. Potato!
You see this bowl? Do you see this bowl? It does not have food in it. What are you thinking?
That's pretty much what that...
Mm.
Yeah, and then off-cast I've just been playing a shit ton of board.
You really like that game, do you? Don't you?
I just like shooting things. And I don't like Call of Duty. Back to Borderlands.
Far Cry 4 has an amazing bug that was still that came from Far Cry 3, where every time a cutscene happens or you interact with anything, the FOV resets. I hate that. Mm-hmm. You've never seen the zooming in and out effect?
Oh, that.
Yeah. It's horrible. I hate it.
I enjoy not having to worry about FOVs.
Simulation sickness is very widespread, but a lot of people don't realize they have it. because usually it's very, very minor things, like maybe just a little bit of discomfort or a headache. And they usually equate that to things like eye strain.
Whereas
And I have a friend that discovered he had it in a very explosive way.
the term explosive makes it.
My friend Anexion, like this is I'm gonna tell this story because of two reasons. One, it needs to be made aware that it happens. Two, it's hilarious. He was playing, I think it was Crisis like Warhead or something, which was a console port. It was it was after what was that company? Crytek went from PC exclusive to multi-platform. He was playing that, and the FOV was really low, and it was his first time really playing a low FOV first-person shooter because he was primarily a console gamer, and he was playing it on his PC. He played it for about 20 minutes, and then he stood up and like walked away from the computer, and then just immediately vomited into a trash can. And he was like, "I don't even know why I did that. I just got this immediate urge to vomit for like no reason." And I was like, "What's the FOV of Crisis?" And he's like 62. And I'm like, "That's why." It's simulation sickness. Now he absolutely hates playing first-person shooters on PC. Even though a lot of them have the option to change it, he's just like, "No,
Right.
console. Fuck that."
I don't know, maybe it's particularly different just because I have turning my head too fast will send me into a spin for 5 months. But I mean, it doesn't matter what what I'm playing, the FPS console or PC. FOV is bad. I'm sick. Done.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a little different in your case than it is for things like simulation sickness, where it's just a condensed field of view. But yeah, just so you guys are aware, it's on both spectrums. Something as simple as just like a light headache to projectile vomiting. It's just as bad as motion sickness. And a lot of people have it. They just don't realize they do.
That to that.
Yep.
Go.
Well, that happened. So, just gonna get this out there real quick. We're gonna be covering things from this week and last week because we missed episode 2 last week. So there's a lot of topics here that we could discuss.
Yep. Specifically, this is episode 2.5.
It's right in the middle.
Crap, I was only looking at the 23rd.
Oh, yeah, there's stuff below that.
Yeah.
Hurrying.
There's quite a bit, actually.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we were decently charged up.
Yeah.
I boned everything. Oh, come here.
Okay.
Here. Right.
Zarin, while we're setting up for that, can you let me know if the the group event went out? I don't actually know if it did. It should be the tip episode 2.5.
Oh, did you put a team group?
A lot of people don't have Twitter or use their email ever, so I figure it's might as well.
Yeah, that's the thing I need to look at.
And some of the people don't follow your channel, so
Yeah.
might as well, Hey, bloke. All right. What do we start with? Do we start with this week or last week?
However you want to do it. If there's things we want to cut out, we can cut them out. I don't specifically.
Kanye West is making a game.
I kind of wanted you to start with that, so let's start with that.
Okay, so literally like 20 minutes before the podcast was supposed to happen, I was looking on YouTube and discovered a video from Polaris about Kanye West. That is the rap / pop star in the U.S., which he should only be in the U.S. because he's a dumb fuck. But that's beside the point. He's making a game, and many people are like, oh, he's probably making an iOS game just based off of that statement because that's what every fucking pop star nowadays is doing. But he's making a game and he's actually like advertising this as being like, a big thing for him. And the point of the game is to bring his mother to the highest gates of heaven by keeping her closer to the light.
Now, I saw this on Game Informer a couple days ago when it first came to light, and I just refused to read it. So even this information is so new to me that it's fucking hilarious.
It's so fucking stupid.
Bye, Guru. Have a good day, sir.
I just need to walk away from this.
I went to go look for a gun and I couldn't find it.
But he's legit making a game where you help bring his mother to heaven. Like, really? Really? Kanye, are you that like, oh god.
Are you that? You're asking this of the guy who twice now I can't remember if the Academy Awards or the Oscar, went on stage and been like, Beyonce should have had this, bitch. Twice.
Well, once. He did it once. The second time he stopped himself last minute. But he was gonna fucking do it.
And best part is he apologized. He apologized to Taylor Swift the minute before he entered.
Yeah.
That's the best thing too, right? Is that he goes, I'm sorry, but I'm about to be
again.
So yeah, that's there's nothing you need to talk about when it comes to this. You just need to hear the headline of the headline and then the idea, and then you're just like, oh, why?
I'm not surprised.
Kanye, you're
I am surprised that it's Kanye West, but I'm not surprised that somebody else is doing this miraculously.
Yeah, if you would have asked me 5 days ago, I thought Kanye West was ever going to make a video game, the answer would have been no.
Yeah. But apparently he's all for art. That's why he could tell other people what isn't art.
He listened to it.
No.
Why does he have to? He makes money.
Yeah.
Classify that.
No, don't get me wrong. What was that one game? I think it was for PlayStation or PlayStation 2. A rapper made it, and he was like the star of the freaking thing. I can't remember who.
Oh, it was a 50 Cent game.
Yeah, the beatdown game.
It was like a GTA style game.
Yes, okay. If you want to try something like that, and he brings out something like that, because honestly, beatdown wasn't a bad game back then. It wasn't too bad. But
no one's disapproving really look.
I'm just saying, if it's something that motion, I could understand it. But hi, people. I'm trying to play Mr. Rogers, and you have to get my grandmother, mother's 2 cousins, aunts, uncle up to heaven. Because no other way they're going there.
No one had said that last part, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people were shamelessly thinking it.
I won't say it. Long live the adult water.
Oh, it was great. All right.
Holy shit.
So I got the biggest talk. All right, here's the thing. That was the best thing. This is the best we had. This is Kanye making a game. So it's just going downhill from here.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Downhill.
It was a hard way to start. I didn't even think anything.
Oh yeah, it's fucking horrible. He's so arrogant. Oh my god.
1 minute. Pompous douchebag. Yep, Connie's picture's there. We're good.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to start with last week's first because it just makes sense to cover episode 2 before 3, you know?
Yeah, now that we got that out. So
what's first?
Number 1 on the list there. Wadding is fucking retarded, and I'm glad somebody is finally being sentenced hardcore.
It's not the first person to be sentenced for it, but it's the first one to actually make like the internet as quick as, or the internet as widely as it did. And the
Right.
reason why was because of the caster in question. That there was a person on Twitch that it took a hiatus from Twitch for a little bit, and then he had just recently come back. He was pretty much known for being, you know, a really nice person, really friendly, really charitable, and he was playing RuneScape, and then someone decided to SWAT him. Now, it wouldn't have been as big if it didn't involve the people in question, because he was living with his mother and father and his younger brother. So what ended up happening, as I slowly lose my voice second by second. All right. What ended up happening was the police officers, because his little brother was the one that actually went to the door. So it was a traumatizing moment. And I think this person's younger brother is like, he's under 10 years old, and he's having people that are in, you know, body armor and assault weapons pointing guns at him and breaking in the house, tons of yelling, chaos going on. So that happened, and then it blew up on the internet from that happening, and then the person that did it ended up getting caught, and I believe his name is Brendan Wilson.
That was the one that got caught, yeah.
He's being charged with up to 5 years in prison.
Should be a lot more than that. I mean, the dude, I mean, I read up on this guy a little bit after seeing this. This isn't his only case. This dude has had multiple instances. Himself has been charged multiple instances of swatting people, which for those of you who don't know what swatting is, making a false call to basically send the police to your door in SWAT armor, guns, and tear gas as a funny joke. This dude has done that multiple times.
Yeah, and this actually goes above just the idea of like police officers. These people are people that are known to go into situations like bomb threats and hostages. They are going to that house with the expectation of violence, of hostility.
Right. If you don't know how the American SWAT team, that's basically our militarized.
Yeah.
They are military trained, shoot to kill officers.
So it's not like, you know, a police officer coming to the door, knocking on the door and being like, is everything okay? No, they'll kick the door in if you don't open the door immediately. More often than not, they'll kick the door in before giving you a chance to open the door because they assume hostility. It is a good thing that someone's finally being arrested, and hopefully an article like this will make it more apparent that this kind of thing needs to be taken much more seriously, because there are too many cases where arrests don't happen.
Yeah, because it's a joke. It takes, you know, lo and behold, we're going to wait for the day where it's like everything else, where it's fine as long as nobody knows about it, but God help us if somebody finally gets shot after years of this.
Like the Counter-Strike casters that got swatted, that could have been really bad.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them actually have prop guns that they use on cast. And, like, God forbid if a police team breaks in when he's got a fake AK in his hands.
Yeah, he would have been dropped on the second. That wouldn't even been a second.
It's dumb, it's dangerous, and it's not only the Twitch community that suffers it. When I first heard about swatting, I looked into it, seen that celebrities, anybody of any sort of notoriety, can be or has been.
Apparently, there are preventative measures. So if you happen to be like me, the Game Pit, GameGooru, what have you, you can actually call your local police department, and you can give them your address, your name, and tell them that this is what you do. You cast, you put yourself out on the internet, and if someone tries to call them and say that, like, you know, a hostage situation is happening or what have you at this address, you can most likely assume that it's just going to be false and someone's trying to, you know, take advantage of the system. Right. I'm not sure that's 100%, but I have heard that some people are able to do that and that it has prevented things like this happening before.
Well, it's better doing that and letting them know that's a possibility than them not knowing it's a possibility at all and coming in full jacket.
Yeah.
Because
at the very least, they might at least then try to contact you, try to figure out the kicking door.
Yeah.
Here's my address. Here's my phone number. Call me, please. It's not like they don't have everybody's telephone number on file.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna put the article in the chat in case anyone wants to see it.
I mean, but 5 years. I mean, honestly, 5 years that's. I think they need to do more.
It's treated as a misdemeanor.
Yeah.
Some people classify it as domestic terrorism. I believe is what they refer to it as.
Which is what I would put it at that level.
I would too.
I mean,
it's also a waste of police times.
Yeah.
Yeah, taxpayer dollars.
I mean, a fake call to the on the level of.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure, yes.
If you call in and you call the police and you falsifying anything to the government is considered a 10-year sentence, let alone in court, and you're calling a basically a SWAT team on somebody to do this, I'm really confused.
As trolling, not even for.
Yeah.
Because you're a douchebag. Yeah. That's the thing that's probably going to.
Until service providers like Skype, Microsoft, Twitch, and that put in countermeasures in place to cloak IPs and cloak the ability to hide that information so there isn't direct ways to get a hold of it.
Right.
Because, I mean, there are people that say they don't use Skype, but they still can get their IP found through means on Twitch, just by tracing the ingest server and such.
Yeah.
So, and even then, you don't even have to go that far because most people, I'm sorry, there's face recognition software you can out there for free that'll find a picture of you on Facebook.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a pretty good fucking point.
Because I can tell you right now, I'm not scared to hide my identity in the world. I can say my name right now because it's in a million places. You can find I'm serious, go search GameGooru21, you will find everything about me. My real name, my address, all of that. I don't care. That's the thing. We put ourselves out here. We know this is going to happen. We know there's a possibility of this happening in the first place. And there's no, at least in my perception, coming from a server analyst and constructor, there is no blocking that much data. There's no securing data in this world. If somebody who knows enough about computers just puts a bug on an ingest server, they can get anything they want out of it. Anything.
A fair enough point.
Tell your local police department, your name, face, address, everything.
Give them a picture of you in a Speedo.
Privacy is no longer a thing anyway, so just let everyone know.
His length, blood type, let him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, negative. 7 inches.
Tic Tac.
I have a bump.
I may not be able to scratch the bottom of a tuna can, but I can sure as hell scrape the edges.
My cheese wheel. Don't be afraid.
All right.
Christ.
That was Mepla. That was great.
John Blow, Gone into Debt. Finished the.
I don't even know who he is. But his name ends with Blow.
Jonathan Blow was the independent developer behind Break.
Yeah, and I didn't care about that game at all.
No, did I think Jonathan Blow is just put on a pedestal.
Yeah, like Peter Molyneux. Which, spoilers, we're talking about that.
100% of people would. Not everybody will agree that John Blow is not a piece of shit.
He is borrowing money, I believe. Like taking out loans to finish paying for the game that was announced for PlayStation 4 at the Sony convention. I don't remember the name of the game. I'm not even looking at the article.
The game is called The Witness.
The Witness.
Basic puzzle. Development became more than what expected. So instead of turning to something like Kickstarter, and in the hopes of borrowing people's money, put out a product that may or may not come out. He instead went looking loans for a company. Basically, that instead of taking the other indie developers' route, fucking around on Kickstarter and doing things early access, rather just borrow money from debt and spend the time making a full game and putting that out.
Here's another thing about this, though. This is a person that I would like. Most people would classify like an indie developer as people that are doing things like, new innovations and new little like knickknacks sort of stuff. This person is now making a game on a PlayStation 4. Yeah. So for him to be getting to the point where he needs to take out loans for a game that he's making on a next generation console, I wonder where all of the budgeting is going. Because he clearly has, not only success, but Braid sold a lot.
Braid sold a lot, and he went, there are some numbers thrown around in here about how much money he invested. And what did they say? There was a certain amount of puzzles they started with. Now they're at 677. 677 puzzles total. The initial plan for the game was to be 8 hours long, and projected to be 25 to 40 hours long. So
25 to 40 hours long. How much are we paying for this game in the first place?
1886. Sorry. It's probably like, considering the environment that the game is. It's what did he sell Braid for? Wasn't that like $20 on release? I don't think he's going to sell it as a AAA title. I think he's probably going to sell it something more aggressive for the indie market, maybe like 20, 30. I would say under $40 would probably make sense for this. Or not make sense for this, but like what he would probably put the price tag at.
Right. Yeah, that was the basics on that, which just segue directly into why Peter Molyneux.
Peter Molyneux makes so many promises. He's such a brilliant mind, but unfortunately, every time he tries to do something, I feel like the development teams like under him are just like, you're giving us too much shit. We're just gonna make something.
Let me just go to the very bottom of this article to start.
Which one?
The Peter Molyneux.
The Kotaku one with Peter Molyneux.
Yeah. Go down just before the comments. Where it's his little quotation.
Okay. I'm going, oh, holy shit, this is a long article.
Yeah.
That's Kotaku for you.
Yeah.
I said we want to make a great game, and I will stand by that. Is that the one we're talking about?
Let's go just above that, though. Everything I say in the press misleads people. I spoke to a journalist yesterday. First thing he asked was, are you a pathological liar? When I say something in these 57 videos I've done, when I say something to the press, I truly believe it. And my philosophy, for what it's worth, is to be a designer, not to be a PR person. Remember that part. Okay. Not to be careful about every word I say. And that's led me to this disastrous position where I can never say anything. Because everything I say misleads people. Especially with me, because I'm such an eloquent talker. Because I am a fucking PR man, not a game developer. I talk around a point and then...
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure...
Only thing Peter Molyneux has ever been good at is PR. Telling you on a game idea never comes...
Fable. But that's like his history right now, is that he talks big things, like innovative things. Like in Fable, he said the world will grow around you, trees will grow in real time, people will age in real time, cities will expand, and wars and all this stuff will occur, and we get a mediocre British satire RPG. And because, I love Fable. I loved playing Fable, The Lost Chapters, and Fable 2 and Fable 3. Regardless of what people say about Fable 3, Fable 3 was a good game until you became king. But, everything about that entire franchise was like nothing he promised. And that's just his track record, Peter Molyneux. He's just like, great things, innovation, mediocrity.
I mean, you can still put out a game and it being a decent game, but you make it a problem when you sell it as the best thing ever come out.
It's almost along the lines of false advertisement.
Right.
It basically is. I mean, every single game he's brought out is a blatant false advertisement, but you can't sue him on it because there's never been a dictatorial press stating that this game is going to have all this stuff in contract when these people are doing it. So
Yeah,
you can't
more
hold
often
them to
than not.
fake press.
Yeah, more often. What was that?
What?
Face first.
Who?
It sounded like you crazy echo.
Oh, me?
Me or him?
Spike.
We're in more than one location. I did. I'm gonna listen. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. Wait. Words. Where's the thing? Shit! I don't have it up.
It's okay. I still have the Twitch
Damn it!
glitch.
I just missed it. So sad now. Oh well.
Oh well, I'm completely over it now.
Yeah. Yes.
This is what the VOD's for.
But he doesn't. It is true that you can't really catch him on false advertisement because he never actually says that like this is the game. He's like, these are the things we want to do. So,
I mean, it's
But I
different.
mean,
Like on Kickstarter, if they promise something and you give them money, you can sue them like that for not. If they decide not to build the game at all,
No.
you can't.
no, actually,
Does
it's not considered because it's a crowdfunding thing, so they treat the money differently than like buying a product.
So
it's like how do I explain this? It's kind of like a charity getting a bunch of money, but there's no actual like information of where that money is supposed to be going because like you could say non-profit charity, but some of that money could be going to paying the people that are doing things, not the actual cause they're trying to do.
Right.
So you can't actually you can't give money to a charity and then say I'm suing because that $10 went to that person and not to buying food.
Basically, how they look at it is that you're paying money into
Yeah.
a not specifically legally binding product. Should it fail, Kickstarter is not at all liable.
Well, I'm not saying sue Kickstarter. I'm saying go after the person because I know there was a class action lawsuit that went to something like this effect where somebody promised something on a funding site and then completely said, you know what, sorry guys, I'm not going to do it, and didn't refund anybody their money, and a class action lawsuit popped up.
Yeah, I think class action lawsuits can happen like that, but I don't. The thing is about a class action lawsuit is it's not actually there to pay anyone anything. It's more like class action lawsuits are more there to kind of hurt the company. So I think I don't really because I've never heard of a case where a person actually like flat out sued a company to get refunds back.
Right.
It was more along the lines of what I don't believe what you're doing is right, so I'm going to sue you because I believe the legal system will also say it's not right.
Yeah, that's the overall. I mean, it's up to if a Kickstarter fails, it's up to that company to can or pay out a refund. People
Like
who
the
aren't pieces of shit will try to get a refund out there.
Like the Yogscast, where like some people would probably like you see a lot of people look at the Yogscast like the Yogsquest game that they were trying to do. When that fell under, the Yogscast actually said, all right, we're giving the product to someone else to work on it, but we're gonna give everyone a game that put money into this because we promised the game, and that's excluding like all the other stuff that they also went through with like dinner and voices and stuff like that. But
Right.
they promised a game with it. And since that game didn't happen, the Yogscast still said, all right, well, here's a game that's similar to the idea. Everyone gets a free copy of that. So even though that's something they didn't have to do because there was nothing legally there saying, hey, we give me a game, they did it anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, the Yogscast has always been a great group anyway. I mean, I can't say I've watched them all the time. I just remember the Minecraft videos and watching them on YouTube every single day they came out. I'll be the first one to admit it. I watched the Yogscast for a long, long time.
Yeah, I mean, same here. And I got no beef against them. Where I have a beef against them in the entire thing was approaching a company that had no idea what they were doing, but putting terrible expectations on that company.
I agree. That
Yeah.
that was a heavy burden to put on a team that was just not really
Not
aware
up to
of
the
what.
task.
Yeah. The game is no longer being worked on, but the Yogscast are sitting on the assets.
Yeah.
They have all the assets and all the information about the game that was like, a quarter of the way worked on, but they're not. There's nothing out there saying that's even being worked on at all. So that's all I know.
And all this came out of a discussion about Peter Molyneux being shit.
Yes.
Well,
Which
still,
the long and short of it is, Goddess was a game that Peter Molyneux was promised a very specific product, and what ended up happening was he poured all of his resources into developing a shitty cash-in, not focused.
I mean, wasn't this game supposed to be like Ruse for the most part?
it was supposed
like
to
in
be a
concept?
spiritual successor to one of his previous titles years ago.
Gotcha.
Black and white.
Yeah.
So yeah.
From what I heard, maybe I didn't. Should I just read this article? The problem is this article is fucking huge.
Yeah, it's gonna take you like 5 years to read.
Because I remember
that's what I gleaned from it. Basically, that's what a lot of the people forum were saying, was just that they would go into meetings, and Peter Molyneux would sit down, and they'd try to ask questions about the PC game, early access, supporting. Peter Molyneux would nonstop talk about the mobile version, and then he told people, mobile version is not going to have microtransactions. A week later, microtransactions were in the mobile version.
Well, that's how mobile games make money nowadays. So
Right.
saying one's not going to have microtransactions and liar.
Everything has microtransactions now. Anybody who actually does a buy to play system, out the window these days. MMOs out the window. It doesn't matter. Nobody short of World of Warcraft anymore will play a subscription.
But like it's starting to put itself into environments where microtransactions are not acceptable. And this is a tangent. I'm going to get on a little bit of a tangent, but it's something that needs to be fucking mentioned.
Wait. Let me go get the soapbox.
The soapbox. Microtransactions are things that are supposed to be used for free-to-play games. And if it's not a free-to-play game, but you have to pay for it, those microtransactions need to be aesthetics. Right. Nothing more. Games that are single player, that are coming out as full AAA prices, that have microtransactions inside them, whether they are aesthetics or boosters or money to buy things in game, no, that is completely and totally unacceptable, and it should not be supported at all. If you are paying $60 for something and it is supposed to be advertised as a full product on release, there should not be microtransactions in that, even if it's to, pay for multiplayer free DLC. No, this is unacceptable.
Like, what game are we talking about? Because
Mass Effect 3, Assassin's Creed Unity, fucking Dragon Age Inquisition, just games like that come out as full AAA titles with a full price tag. You should not be paying microtransactions.
So wait, there's microtransactions on Inquisition?
Yeah, Go look on the multiplayer. There's a platinum system. You could pay like $50 for 2,000 platinum and then buy chests in game, just like Mass Effect 3, where you can do the exact same thing to buy random loot drops. And like I understand fucking like EA, BioWare, Ubisoft, everything. I get it. You want to make more money because you have companies like GameStop that just nuke your sales after the first week. I get that. But microtransactions is just not consumer friendly at all. That's not the way you need to do things.
They're just I can't speak of the outside world, but in the 9% of it, they're just preying on the 90% of U.S. consumers in the gaming industry right now that are simply speed gamers. I mean, the people who are sitting there going, wait, I can pay $100 to minimax my entire shit in one day? Fuck yes, let's do it!
Yes, you're very accurate. That's exactly That's exactly what the consumer basis is right now, but that doesn't really change that it's not friendly to the consumer. Because what's going to end up happening, it's bad right now, where you have games like this that are, you can pay microtransactions. It's heaven forbid Dead Space 3, which is a single player fucking game where you can pay them money to make a gun. I mean, it's unacceptable. It's actually just unacceptable that this type of thing is accepted and endorsed even because these companies release this and they don't try to hide it
at all.
It's there. Made money on the
See, you know why I didn't specifically have a problem with the real money auction houses in 3?
You want fuck, shit, piss, cunt, fucker, butt plugs. All right, I'm just making sure you can swear.
You did it. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't censor myself, so if we weren't supposed to swear, I fucking ruined that rule.
I mean, in the concept of it, they're just in general, just obviously trying to make more money because in general, the other half of it is, yes, it is completely, I'm not disagreeing with you. It is 100% terrible for most of the gaming, besides the fact that it makes most games like pay to win or pay to succeed in most aspects. But in the same concept, 90% of people are pirating games, still pirating games, not 90% obviously, but they always use the 90% policy in gaming.
Yes.
So they're losing thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, quote unquote, to these issues.
I want to address that piracy thing. I understand where you're coming from with that idea, but here's a little fact about people that pirate games. More often than not, the people are pirating things for one of two reasons. One, it's inconvenient to buy it due to things like DRM or non-consumer friendly things. And two, they weren't going to buy it anyway.
Right.
So how are you losing money from a consumer that wasn't going to consume?
Because in general, there's people, don't get me wrong, I'll be the first one to admit it. I have downloaded a game before.
I'm sure many people have.
But I am one of those people who, the problem with PC gaming is 90% of the time, game releases don't have freaking demos anymore. There's no chance to freaking test games.
That's the thing. Like, there are a lot of people that download a game to see A, if it works on their system, B, to see if it's, a buggy mess that just won't work at all. But the reason why we have that the reason why you don't need to do that type of thing now is that we have thousands of sources online, forums that tell you like PC performance, forums that tell you like the reviews and all other kinds of information about that. So it's not really necessary to download those types of things unless you're just completely and totally detached from where the current industry is.
Right.
The main reasons people pirate things is DRM and unconsumer friendly things, or they weren't going to buy it anyway.
I mean, you know how a lot of people get their information on games now, whether they want to buy them. Don't. Us.
Content creators.
We advertise these games. We give people our opinions on them. That has. We're not buying games.
True statement.
We are their demo guys.
To an extent, yeah. I agree with you, though, Game Guru. Demos need to be a thing that need to be brought back because the ability to download something for free, legally, and experience a tidbit of it without having to rely on the outside sources like Twitch, YouTube, forums, IGN, GameSpot, what have you, that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, I don't think the industry is really there anymore. Unfortunately. But I definitely see where you're coming from. The lack of demo, because there are some demos that are still out there. Primarily, most of them are indie games. AAA titles just don't do it at all anymore.
I mean, Dying Light was one of the first games that actually had a playable demo in such a long time. I was actually kind of surprised. Because it came out and I tried it on my computer. I still bought the game. My computer can't freaking run it because my, graphics card decided that it didn't want to work anymore. But I mean, it was nice to know that I wasn't going to be able to run it at full spec.
Yeah. That kind of thing is, it needs to come back. Demos, I agree. But that's not the only reason people really pirate, is all I'm trying to get at. Yeah.
Right, and then you have to look at other countries. There's a lot of games that aren't sold in other countries. Can't get killed.
Like
Yeah.
I
Like
I don't think we
Brazil
covered
and
this.
Australia, who fucking stopped everything and anything from coming in.
Like Australia on Hotline Miami 2, where
Why?
Australia didn't give them a rating. And
Mhm.
because they didn't give the game a rating, they basically won't sell it anywhere in the country legally. So the developer of Hotline Miami just flat out said, look, there's Pirate Bay. If you want our game, you can get our game. Just download it. I mean, all we really want is for you to enjoy the game. So if we can't sell it there. And the reason why they did that is because they understand, look, you weren't going to consume anyway. So we're not going to lose money from you in the first place.
Your government wouldn't even let you consume the game.
Exactly. So they're just like, I mean, at that point, just there are actually people that say piracy is good in some sense. And those people say the reason why they say it like that is because it's still free advertisement.
Mhm.
If a person pirated a game and then he's like, hey, dude, I like this game, and say that person also pirates it, at the end of the day, you have two people that showed up, experienced your game, and are still kind of likely to buy another one from you. So it still ends up becoming a free advertisement in a sense.
Yeah,
At least
I
if you
mean,
look at it in the idea of they weren't going to buy it anyway. If you
Right,
think of it
yeah.
as like they're not buying it, the money, then yeah, you're losing out. But
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, actually, I completely understand that. That's a variable point.
yeah, I mean,
I shall agree.
just look at how long everybody's been pirating music. And,
Yeah.
that industry is very. What was, I
Well,
don't
here's the
remember
thing, though.
the name
Any music I ever downloaded in the past, I don't do it anymore just because shit, Spotify exists.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
before Spotify existed, I used to download things to figure out if I wanted to give a shit about buying the album or.
Yeah.
And I
Exactly.
usually did buy the album. And if I hated it, then I just deleted the shit.
It was I can't remember the person that said this, but if anyone can tell me the name of the person I'm going to quote, they said the best way to combat piracy is to offer a better service.
Yep.
That was in tune with the music industry, where they had a lot of people pirating music, albums here, albums there, and then things like iTunes and things like Spotify and things like that, where it just got progressively more and more consumer friendly to acquire this music
Right.
and still support the musicians.
Yeah.
And then piracy is still there in terms of the music industry, but it's definitely dwindling because there's a lot more ways that are just easier to do it.
That's shit ton easier. Shit ton easier than going through whatever. You can download a Spotify app on your phone or
Yeah.
search it and it's there and it's streaming and you're done.
And more often than not, those companies end up like they do advertisements, and those advertisements, they take a cut of that and they give that to the person that made the music. So it's still, it's still supporting the musicians in question.
Right.
And it's just more consumer friendly that way than it is with the, the in order to experience this music, you must pay $13 at a store.
Before you've even heard it. Except for
Exactly.
one song on the radio.
Exactly. Which more often than not is the one song that's good on an album.
Yeah.
Oh,
Of course, it's the one they publicly put out there.
yeah.
That's the face we want to put out there. Now here's 12 tracks of shit.
All right, we've been on this for a really long time, and
Yeah,
I'm
we have.
sorry I kept it going for so long. It just spun off into so many things that just kind of need to be told.
So Sony Online Entertainment
Ah, yes.
broke
Um,
apart. Might be the best way to put it.
yeah. Like a couple weeks ago, Sony Online Entertainment was bought out by someone and became Daybreak Games. Sony Online Entertainment are the people that did EverQuest and H1Z1 and stuff like that. Basically, they're online entertainment, PlanetSide 2, that sort of thing. Now they're a standalone company. They're separate from Sony, so that they have the Daybreak Games thing. But recently, a lot of the company's like main people, a couple studios in question, were just shut down and liquidated, which rose a lot of concern because a lot of those dev houses for this company had a lot of the talent, a lot of the people that they were really looking forward to do things like H1Z1 and EverQuest Next and that kind of stuff. So this happening basically directly after the company was reattained by someone else. Where's the positive here?
Well, yeah, I mean, they had an update afterward where Daybreak Studios, it's part of a strategic Daybreak game company, announced that it's going to be eliminating positions in San Diego. The alignment of resources better position independent studios, future growth, including delivering on its legacy online games. Solid fund. Reductions will not affect the operation of current games, and the company will partner with the player community to push the boundaries.
Which I'm sure a lot of people feel about, because a lot of the talent and a lot of faces disappeared from the company.
So I'm sorry. I'm trying not to go on a tangent because one of my favorite designers just got fired, apparently. Who the fuck gets rid of David Jorson? Who in the fuck decided it was a good idea? The man who came up with Next, who I've been alpha testing since it fucking came out, the game that's progressively gone worse because David Jorson and the design community behind that game decided they were going to listen to all of us and make a better game, just got canned. I quit.
But yeah, like, you see, that's the exact reaction. That's the exact reaction. More adult water. That's the exact reaction that a lot of people that really enjoyed games like PlanetSide 2, EverQuest Next, etc. are having. They're like, okay, so a lot of the big names here are disappearing. So why should I continue to care about these things if the development team is basically neutered?
Right.
Especially games that are still. See, that's the exact reaction a lot of people are having.
Yeah. That's why everybody initially was like, yay, everybody's like,
Yeah, because, I mean, a development team being cut away from a major publisher allows for a lot of open doors that way, because a lot more creative freedom. But now, there was so much excitement.
Yeah. Because now a Sony Online Entertainment branch of studios going to be able to do anything games for.
Exactly.
They were no longer platform exclusive.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like Sony hasn't done this like 27 times. I mean, Sony Entertainment has been pretty
Was dog sex happening?
Dog sex can happen if you'd like me to.
No.
No. Right now. But, I mean, they've been through a lot. I mean, they've been through VI, Sony Entertainment LLC. They've been through like several partner companies, which I believe were SCEA and SCE, and one other one that I can't remember off the top of my head. But I mean, this isn't like this hasn't happened before. But during those were just mergers and shifts and all that stuff. Not a blatant get the hell out. And this is like at the worst point, because Next is who does that in the middle of two big titles? I mean, I think H1Z1 is still semi-beta. Or is it fully released?
Oh, that's beta.
Yeah,
it's actually probably alpha, I think.
So there's two games that they still have. One that's in public beta, a la Next, I believe still, and last time I checked, and alpha and H1Z1, and they just got rid of the head of both departments. Why is this a good idea? In what world is having two top games where you have such a big following? EverQuest, big following, thousands, millions of dollar following from back when, still following the game to this day. And H1Z1 with the zombie craze, don't get me wrong, I hate the zombie craze, but still happening. Yeah. And you just chopped off both heads.
Yeah. GameGooru gets it better than me and Nate will even bother caring.
Basically, yeah.
Because I'm not a fan of Sony Online Entertainment. I've never really cared about EverQuest or any of that stuff.
EverQuest was fine. I liked PlanetSide 2.
It wasn't a bad game.
PlanetSide 2 was... Yeah.
Oh, come on, you know everybody loved DC Online.
Oh yeah. Everyone loves that. It's the best. It's the best thing they ever made.
Wait, so Entertainment made something else besides that? Shit.
I was totally unaware. All right, but that's really like there's not a lot of details that need to be discussed about that. A company got bought by someone else, and now they're liquidating a bunch of positions and
Which
focusing.
that company bought. Better for.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, a tidbit of information on the side of that: a lot of the people that were previously working on H1Z1 that lost their positions were picked up by the people doing DayZ.
Well, there you go.
So.
And
amazing.
H1Z1's about to die.
So that happened.
It's gonna happen. Eddie, if you just told me that H1Z1, the people, because H1Z1 had the big hype following, because everybody was like, this is gonna be the next DayZ. This is gonna be what DayZ actually should have been and promised, and everybody was doing that's now on DayZ. What do you think is gonna happen?
Well, not everyone, but the people that were,
Yeah.
the people that were working on it that lost their jobs were picked up by DayZ.
I don't really think it's going to change much. The people who were interested in DayZ. Because they like picking berries. I've seen way too much of that game, and my opinion on it is crap.
Well,
It's-
it's also.
The community is what the main driving point of those games are, and unfortunately, the community behind them is shit and toxic as hell.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, DayZ is a fun game, and I mean, the original DayZ mod back when, a la whatever it was too, because I have the memory of Goldfish.
Arma.
Thank you. Arma 2. It was a great mod. It was a great thing, and I was happy that they finally decided to create an actual game and actually try and start their own studio. It was a great step forward.
It was supported by the people that did Arma, actually.
Mhm.
They gave the lead developer of DayZ the job.
But I mean, there we go. I mean, the concept of it, it was a brilliant move. So,
Yeah.
it's just,
Conceptually, I agree.
yeah.
Unfortunately, you have to rely on the community to keep that concept any kind of life, and what it just turned into was open world deathmatch.
Yeah, and that transfers to any other game like it. Every immediate intent is shoot to kill.
I almost think we should segue into the stomping land thing that I mentioned instead of this right away, because it makes sense.
We can do that because 0.5 is basically just gonna. They're terrible. Go.
Sega's shit, they're losing money.
Yeah.
There's a game called The Stomping Land, which is a Rust-esque sort of game, except it involves dinosaurs. It was kickstarted for nearly $150,000, which started its development time, and the creator just jumped ship, gone completely dark. The rest of the people working on it haven't been able to get a hold of him for like 2 months. So, this is an example of putting money into Kickstarter. Because there's never a promise or never a guarantee that something's going to happen. You're just hoping that it does.
Although I gotta say, this is a pretty extreme example of something just going fuck all. Like I've never seen something like this happen where the guy was just like,
I'm gone.
whatever.
Fuck you guys, I'm going home.
Like flat out.
Not even like a note scribbled on a napkin,
No, it's just,
lipstick on a mirror.
nope. Dark
Fucking
for like 2 months. It's like,
I mean,
thanks
the
for the
same-
money. Bye.
I mean, don't get me
the
wrong.
only excuse for this guy's body is.
Yeah.
Basically, otherwise.
I mean, there are different games like this. This has happened before, honestly. The only one game I can think of was a game that came out. It's actually been in alpha, beta, whatever you want to talk for the longest time. Kenshi. It was the same thing. Got started. Was supposed to be a great game. Haven't frickin' heard from it in years. It had update what? It just came out with 2 updates this year so
Cube
far.
World.
Huh?
Cube World.
True.
Remember
Cube
Cube
World
World? There was tons of hype on that. Got one update after that hype. Haven't heard anything since like March 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What the hell was? I know I follow him on. specifically Martin Little, all of that shit hyped up so bad.
Mm.
But I mean, in the end, it is just him and his wife working on things, and they don't really know what they're doing. But that hype should have more of a team working on it and support
Are
it.
you talking about Cube World? Because that was a really small, like in-house sort of thing that I remember talking about. I remember hearing about. It was like it was a husband and wife that did it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he was basically the programmer. She was the art director.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't heard anything as to why it's gone dark. Because the website hasn't been updated in forever. It's still showing things about like updates that they were planning on doing like a year ago.
And Besieged is a real good game. Yeah, that was another two-person development team. Besieged is real fun.
It's definitely possible to do. It's just going flat out dark like that. It's never good.
No, you at least if you're not going to do it anymore, at least tell your community. If you don't have the balls to do it, stop making games.
Right.
That's all I'm asking. Because I mean, you Spike, you know, especially I have paid into a lot of alphas or been in a lot of alphas or tested for companies. I am so sick and tired of even like the last one I was in. It wasn't even a Kickstarter. It was an underground title. It never came to fruition. I'm not allowed even talking about it, which I'll probably get in trouble if they see this. But I bought in for, what was it, $25. It was going to be a nice indie, what was it, like a side scroll beat 'em up, old school style. It was going to be great. I mean, it was really nice in alpha, and then literally I think they made $250,000 and literally gone. Website
Anita
gone.
Sarkees.
Servers gone. Literally everything. Twitters, handles, everything gone. Vanished off the face of the fucking world.
Awesome.
I am so sick and tired of this crap happening.
The reason why it's happening is because of, like, earlier you said the lawsuit thing, people being able to sue for not getting what they want when they put money into Kickstarter, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because of that, we see people like the Stomping Ground incident where they make a lot of money, cash out, and then fucking gone. Anita Sarkeesian did it. She made a lot of money and did 3 videos a year later.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that do that, and there's unfortunately nothing that most people can really do on Kickstarter, which I can understand why Kickstarter are doing that, because they don't need to have people, you know, suing them, which they really don't make that much money. A lot of the money in Kickstarter is the crowdfunding process of Kickstarter, not to Kickstarter.
I mean, that's what I'm really confused about, because I know I've read of, whether they be hoax articles or not, of people of Kickstarter actually being sued over stuff like this in the first place. How are you going to make that fly? How are you even going to make that fly? I am suing Kickstarter because I spent money on this project, even though they're just a freaking hosting company.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what Kickstarter says up front on their side anyways, isn't it? Just that, you know, we are not your money into. What we do is we provide a platform to sell an idea. That's it.
Shit. Did you hear about the potato salad Kickstarter?
Fucking love the potato salad Kickstarter. Are you kidding me?
What?
All right.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Someone did a Kickstarter to make a bowl of potato salad. All right.
Yes.
The best bowl of potato salad that you could make.
And he made $55,000 to make potato salad.
Best potato salad ever, though.
So what he did with that money is everybody who kickstarted him, he said, I'm going to take your money. I'm going to make potato salad. You guys all come over and we'll have a big potato salad block. That's how you do a fucking Kickstarter. He didn't even... He could have easily pocketed $55,000. Fucking fucked off.
But he literally bought and made
But he bought everybody potato salad because everybody paid him for potato salad.
And I believe actually he owns his own company now that makes potato salad.
Oh, we got tons of sponsorship deals from that.
Yeah.
He was on the news. He was on, I think he was on Ellen once. He was that Kickstarter, man. That set life Done.
Yep.
Done.
So this
Just
proves
because you
that all
made
you,
potato salad on fucking Kickstarter. Done.
all you need to do is do what I can't remember the quote. I think it was we bought a zoo. I'm gonna quote something from there. All it takes is 3 seconds of sheer courageous stupidity. I believe it was the quote.
It
Just
seems
have to be.
legit,
You just have that
actually.
one moment. You just have to have
So
that one moment.
Done. It's like internet memes. Just internet memes. Just do 3 seconds of stupid. Boom, you're all over the internet.
Basically.
Me. I will be Twitch famous overnight. Or like that one dude. Because honestly, I don't. It takes a lot of guts to play an instrument on anything, because you're gonna get judged. You miss a key, you're fucked. Did you hear about the dude who came on Twitch, literally got partnered in one day?
No.
There was a dude who came on, started playing the piano, and he has partnership right now because everybody all of a sudden heard about this dude. Ezekiel went over there. Syndicate went. I mean, everybody you know went and hit this dude. This dude had 3,000 viewers sitting in his channel waiting for him to come back to play the piano.
Do you mind if I shout out a person? Is that okay, or should I not do that? You okay with it, Nate?
Yeah.
All right. A friend of mine named Oram is also a caster. He had a person he was close to. He lived like 20 minutes away from this person. He had done his audio equipment, talked him through some of the casting things. Future Man Gaming. All right. There is a caster called Future Man Gaming. He was casting on that channel since September. All right, mid-September. And like a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, he was doing his normal thing, he was just casting in the way he normally does. Jesse Cox shouted him out on Twitter. And then holy shit, the stream down effect. Man was there, Zeke was there, fucking Lyric was there. Like every big 300 plus follower channel was in his channel with like 6,000 other people. And he had just broke like 1,000 followers. And like partner huge, everyone that was there was like, this dude is like the next level Twitch.
Yeah.
Like he's over the top. He's got characters. He's got a lot of energy. He like top notch quality stuff. And before that cast was even over, Twitch had said, "Hey, you're partnered."
Jesus.
Because everyone that was there was like, "This is next level Twitch stuff." I'm shamelessly whoring this person out because I also agree. The Future Man Gaming, it's just that one whole thing. He's excellent.
He's also live right now with 10,000 followers and being watched by 2,000 people.
Mm-hmm. He was front paged on Monday. Yeah, he's fucking blowing up, dude. He's good shit. All right, so
anyway, what were we talking about?
Are we gonna do the Sega one, or are we just flat out skipping that with Sega's losing money?
No, we said that. Yeah, Sega's a piece of shit. It's losing money. $13 billion getting lost. Sonic Boom. Moving on.
Sonic Boom. What the fuck?
Can I just say, in that picture of Sonic Boom, it looks like Sonic has a tiny penis.
He does.
Do you see the tiny penis? You got to get in really close, Gabe.
Or he's crapping a blue turd. I don't know.
I stand by the tiny penis.
Tiny penis.
Mm-hmm. Also, Hercules Knuckles.
Yeah, Hercules. That game is so
Hulk
broken you can beat it in an hour just because Knuckles animation resets when you jump and pull.
Yep.
You jump. Okay. So anybody who doesn't know anything about 3D, when you animate things, them along an X, Y, and a Z axis. Typically, jump animation, then use the animation jumping while moving up. Should reset back to position. Then what they did with Knuckles, they never reset it. So when you pause, resets the animation, but doesn't reset the Z position, so you can just keep climbing up into space. Game completely broken because of one minor mistake.
It's awesome. I've seen people cheese the hell out of it and just like skip like loading zones and barriers. Just like I don't know how to get past this barrier. I'm just gonna jump and pause.
Sega, multi-billion yen company, handed their most notable IP game company.
Yep.
Bethesda.
Bethesda.
In fairness, I didn't actually look.
Wait, Bethesda
Is it
E3. I don't even have this one up. It's hosting the first ever E3 conference. There it is.
Is that one the one we're talking about? The Bethesda E3 or?
I mean,
I
I'm
don't
sure
know, but
everybody knows by now.
Bethesda is hosting their first ever E3 press conference showcase, and rumors suggest a possibility of huge announcements coming along with their first ever. Far Cry 3. Well, Bethesda has notoriously been pretty like they're kind of Valve-esque in terms of their big franchises, stuff like Elder Scrolls and that type of thing. They kind of keep it pretty hidden until like the last minute, and they're like, boom, this is coming out, and just hype everywhere. So rumors are that since this is their first E3 that they've ever really done, first big presentation that they've done at E3, that this is going to be Fallout 4.
Confirmed.
Because, you know, there's been leaks everywhere all over the internet about Fallout this, Fallout that, but this does staff here. Fallout Chicago, Fallout fucking
New York City,
Alaska.
whatever it is.
Yeah, like there's rumors all over the net. So because Bethesda came out with this E3 conference thing, this big event they're doing, you know, everyone's like Fallout 4, and I'm like, you're gonna be disappointed.
That's exactly the point of it.
I can't be disappointed. Fallout's my love. I fell in love with the Fallout series, even though New Vegas sucks completely.
You can love it, but just because they're showing up to an event for the first time, don't expect anything beyond normal day business.
Yeah,
it would be smart.
Bethesda. You know what I'm just expecting of Bethesda? I'm expecting them to come out and go, "You guys want Fallout 4? Yeah. You guys want to watch us play the new Elder Scrolls? Yeah. Too fucking bad. We're bringing out this new shit."
Mark, that was every Fallout game that they made already.
Remember the Wolfenstein leak?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was amazing. All right, so Wolfenstein, before they announced Wolfenstein: The New Order, they made this website, all right? This website was just a countdown and then like music from the 40s. Okay? So everyone's like, Fallout, yeah! And then they released the announcement for Wolfenstein: The New Order, and everyone that didn't know about Wolfenstein was just like, Fallout.
Wolfenstein Fallout? What? Fallout Wolfenstein?
Oh, it was so fucking funny. There was so much hype about this website because no one knew what it was.
I thought it was Fallout 4.
It was just a website. Like, there was nothing actually connecting it to Bethesda. It was just a website with 40s music and a countdown. And some, like, net-savvy people, like, traced it to a Bethesda, like a surname website that was hosting it, or a server that was hosting it. And they're like, Fallout 4! No, Wolfenstein: The New Order. So
I'm not gonna lie, I died a little inside when I figured out it was Wolfenstein. I'm not gonna lie. I
was
immediately
hilarious.
I'm so out of the loop with Bethesda. That's what I would have immediately thought it was. Just because like World War II era music, Germans, Nazis, thought about it. I've been like, oh yeah. Everyone else is like Fallout.
It's the same generation. It's like music from the 40s to the 60s. It's right around there.
Yep.
And that was how they advertised Fallout 3. They were like, oh yeah, listen to this music we have, post-apocalyptic, and then it was in Fallout 3. So we thought, you know, very simple website, countdown, 40s music, and Fallout. Nope.
Oh, so the way they put up the Wolfenstein thing, very much how they would have put up a.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They literally, the original Fallout 3 had a generic website that basically tried to pull the same thing, and it played MOBA type. Oh dear God, no.
Yes.
I mean, it literally,
Yes.
it was like
Arconian
it was like
versus Super Mutant.
Oh dear God. I will quit. I'm serious. If another major title company, no wait, Sega MOBA.
The most
Fuck it, let's just
overpowered
have
character
Sonic
is
fight.
Adoring Fan.
What are you talking about? There's probably a Sonic MOBA already happening.
probably is.
It's fucking Sega.
Oh my God.
Oh, that idea is amazing! I'm so happy about that thought.
It's horrible. People would buy it. It's a horrible
I know
idea.
people would buy it. I would buy it. Just so I can laugh at it. Oh, yes.
Super Mutant. It would have that fucking sniper from the dinosaur's mouth. That would be that would.
Dude, a Deathclaw versus the Adoring Fan. Payasura, payasura, payasura. Bitch slap through the sky. Yes! But this to get on it. It'll be amazing.
Spike's looking to kickstart this idea right now.
Kickstarter.
So
Spike, go
fucking
Kickstarter with
good.
this. Go Kickstarter with this. You're gonna get sued, but go Kickstarter with it. Because God knows you can't have Fallout in a title without them losing their shit.
All right. So did you put the Bethesda blog thing in? No. Give me a second. I'll put that in chat. Go ahead to the next one. Oh, slut.
1 second off.
Yeah, whatever.
Did you get wrecked, nerd? Mm. By the way, Wolfenstein: The New Order. Love that game. It's so good.
You were pretty happy by the end of that. You were
very
salty happy.
Oh yeah, dude, I was so pissed off at myself. Why am I missing these shots? But like, great, loved that game. Game was excellent. I did. Look, I could be upset about a game and still enjoy it, just not BioShock. Fuck that game.
So how do you feel about BioShock, Spike?
It's horrible.
There you go.
Should have been a movie.
Should have been.
It was a great movie.
Company is trying to tackle the two biggest problems of virtual reality gaming. Seems promising step in the right direction.
Yeah, basically what that is control and vision. We need to figure out a way to make it control it. Figure out a way so that it doesn't make everybody vomit.
I mean, there's games like, I can tell you back when, I don't remember what wage I was, but I walked into a...
Wage?
Was it minimum wage?
Completely.
Sorry, I'm making fun of you.
But I walked into, what was the place? It was like one of those big gaming places. It's like you pay for cards and you swipe the cards on the game machines and all that shit. I can't remember what it's called. I should.
Talking about
Gabriel Brothers, Dave and Buster's.
David and Buster's. Yeah.
Okay. So, the thing I always wanted from virtual reality is the concept of there was a game. And in this game, you were a boxer or a shooter. And it was like playing Time Crisis, but you physically had to like duck to get out into cover, and you came back up and you could keep shooting, kind of thing. Like that's what I think everybody's trying to do with virtual reality, but we just don't have the ability yet. So everybody's trying to make these excellent looking games when it's right in your VR vision. I'm sorry, I could have sworn having a screen anything close to this distance from your freaking face is bad for your eyesight, genealogy, Rigi. I'm really good at talking right now.
You're intoxicated.
Yes, completely. Adult water.
Topic over. Adult water.
But I mean, the concept of it, there's just, even like the Oculus. I love the concept of what the Oculus finally brought back. But like this thing is saying, I mean, it's just, it needs overhauled because it's giving people headaches. It's making people sick. I mean, there's literally...
Simulation sickness is becoming much more aware because of this type of thing.
Right.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Wait,
I'm
what?
now going to go buy an Oculus. I'll be right back.
Oculus porn. Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not
That's been a
surprised,
thing.
still.
It's been a thing for a while.
Yeah,
People are like,
you can find the videos on YouTube of people trying.
isn't it very anime oriented?
Probably.
Because I know I've seen I saw a dating sim that was run on the Oculus. And by dating sim, I mean you actually just strip an anime female. That's the only purpose of it. Anyway, as we were talking about, yeah,
Why? I'm sorry. I was looking at chat at the same point. I'm
pornpit.com.
I want to purge that just in the potential possibility that it is a site that already exists.
It probably is.
All right. Yeah, like I've said it for a while now that VR is something that I still believe we're still quite away from actually executing properly. Like there's definitely ideas that are putting us closer and closer and closer to the idea, but even then when we start to execute that kind of thing, it is going to be a very niche, very enthusiast environment until it becomes much more approachable for just normal consumers cuz right now like right now PC gaming is already being geared toward this very niche, very, enthusiast environment, and it's really not there anymore. So if PC gaming is being targeted that way still by most consumers, we're a long ways away from VR being brought into the consumer environment.
I mean, they're bringing out a lot of cool things. Like I remember watching a video where I think he was playing Call of Duty simulation type game, same concept, where he's sitting inside of kind of like this built-in cage where the things at his hip, there's this bar at his hips which holds him in place, and
Yeah, I
he's
saw
actually
that.
walking around. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's what I'm expecting of VR in long term. But I mean, you're still talking about something you can't play for hours on end. You're talking about something you can play for maybe 30 minutes before you put it down.
Yeah, it's even if you're like, especially considering the health state of most gamers. Oh god, I've been running for 6 minutes. Fuck this shit. Picks up the controller. But yeah, like a lot of people want VR to be this really big thing, but they're the health risks that come along with a lot of the things that want to be had, like what you said, the being in a cage, running around in this. Well, it's not really a cage. It's like a little dome thing that they stand on, and when you walk forward, it's got like a slip pad, so your feet can slide against it easily.
Special shit.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like, yeah, it's neat, it's fancy, it's cool, but like, come on,
We're not going to make it into consumer.
Yeah, that's very, very niche. It's very, very enthusiast, and even the people that do pick that up, they're not going to be playing games on that all the time. They'll probably pick it up and say like, "Hey, cool, look, friends, come check out this awesome thing I have. Now let's go in the living room and play our Xbox." Because
Yeah, I mean, you know what everybody wants. Everybody wants to start online tech. We are. We want to be able to put a thing on our heads, lay down, be completely vegetable, and play games through our mind. That's what we want.
And shove the tube right up our noses for the feeding tube, because I would stay in there for hours, days, months.
On the topic of virtual reality, there's also augmented reality gaming, which I think is going to be the most hilarious thing. And the reason why I think that is because I can't wait until someone kills someone.
Yes.
That's a really horrible thing to say, but I can't fucking wait until I find the article where someone's wearing augmented reality headset and they shoot someone in the fucking head.
Mm-hmm. Isn't augmented reality gaming the thing where like it was like the Pokemon where you had to go like around the world to find 150 Pokemon when Pokemon pulled that stunt where
that was
like
Google
have
who pulled that stunt.
Pardon me, Google, that's right. Yeah. But I mean, like, is it that concept where it was like you're sitting there and you could be anywhere in the world and it turns like your world into a video game? That thing?
No, you still see like everything around you. The augmented reality thing just kind of takes certain points of things of your environment and it can texture things over it. Like you could like say your television is off, but you're wearing the augmented glasses, right? You can put a screen on that television, and the software will remember that location, so you can look away from it, right? And the screen will still kind of be there within the vision of the augmented reality. So it's just kind of like layering things over your environment to make it look like it's actually there. So if that kind of technology progresses to the point where you can play Call of Duty in augmented reality, it's only a matter of time before someone shoots someone. And that article will be hilarious.
And then they can finally say that gaming has actually killed somebody. Finally be able to prove that point.
And then the industry will immediately die.
Yes.
So it'll be funny for all of like 6 minutes. And then everyone that's in the industry is going to be like, oh, God, why? I still think it'll be hilarious, though. Damn it, Shadow. Good fucking job unfollowing, you slut. You've been live for an hour and a half.
We're not talking about...
What was point 8? I missed it entirely.
The TT game thing. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I mean, the basic low ball of that is fucking... Telltale has already been stretching their too thin. Not making their quotas, and when they want to get episodes out, on more fucking projects. On more... Stretch thin.
Mm-hmm. Like right now, they're already working on 2 games, right? Well, not 2 games, but 2 games. They're doing Tales from the Borderlands. They're doing the Game of Thrones thing, which, by the way, the Game of Thrones was being so successful, I half expect that they just dropped Tales from the Borderlands altogether until they're done with Game of Thrones, because they're already working on episode 3 of the Game of Thrones one, and they haven't even released 2 of Tales from the Borderlands.
Aren't they still working on the one zombie one as well? Aren't they still working on episodes for that?
Walking Dead 2?
Season 2 is done. I'm sure they're actively working on season 3 right now.
Okay.
Almost definitely, because that game's also a big seller.
I'm sure season
and now
3
they have the...
Yeah,
and now they have the Minecraft one that apparently they're considering or working on or what have you.
Wait, there's a Minecraft Telltale game?
Telltale Games is making a Minecraft game and then apparently a new IP. Oh, so actually they're talking about 2 games.
I got an idea, guys.
Minecraft.
My God, this is all right. This is kind of the first time I opened this article. Picture of.
I didn't even look at the article.
Yeah, I can see that. He has like chipmunk cheeks. You either want to pinch his cheeks or just blast him in the face. I mean, ask him to take off his glasses first, but blast him in the face.
But yeah, they're thinking. All right, so basically, what this article is saying is that for what we know, Telltale will be working on 4 games at once.
Yep.
Because the Minecraft IP, an original IP, Tales from the Borderlands, and the Game of Thrones things, and that's just what we know in the public. So they could be working on The Walking Dead 3 as well. They could be working on...
I'm sure they are.
They could be working on The Wolf Among Us 2. You know, for all we know... I don't know how big is the development team of Telltale?
That's...
Because it sounds like they're just throwing everything at this.
How many games can one company work on? If you're Ubisoft, you can 5,000 terrible games.
GTA augmented reality. Yep. Wrecked.
Number of employees, 240.
Okay, so they got a nice sized development team.
That's small even in terms.
But I mean, in the concept of their 3D development, I mean, the Telltale games are aesthetically pleasing, but they're not heavy. I mean, if they have their story department build everything and get their lines up, the team, I mean, you could probably send a 16-man team in and turn over the game in probably about 3 months. I mean, for each different DLC, because Wolf Among Us, I mean, how long did that take? That was 3 months.
Like a year.
Yeah,
for the whole game to come out, like a year.
Yeah, see,
so and one every 2 months.
Part of the problem with that is you're divisioning up a small team into smaller teams to get this done. And what are the problems with every single Telltale game? Loading times are horrendous. Little glitches here and there. fucking the episodes don't come out when they're promised to come out. To the point that Telltale has stopped promising release schedules.
Well,
They're just like, we can't do that.
It'll be done.
I mean, that in general is something that I think people need to stop doing in the first place, is promise games on deadlines. How about tell us it's going to be available, if it's not going to be available in 2015, just tell us it's going to be available in 2016. Yes, we're going to be pissed as gamers, but don't force a game out a la Dragon Age 2 just to meet a freaking deadline. I mean, please, for the love of God, people, stop. Devs, if there is a dev listening to this anywhere in the world later, please, for the love of God, don't ever do it. I will be happy.
Oh, God. Sorry, that came out of nowhere. A fucking get wrecked game. I'm sorry.
This is why I use shitty earbuds that don't transmit sound well.
These are industrial strength headsets. Like, I've got this little wheel.
Oh, they are.
You should turn it down.
It is down. That's the best part.
If only I could transfer sound through this microphone like a smart person. I would need a mixer to appropriately do that, but it would be great if I could just, turn down for what?
Turn down for... Oh. I
I can do it in my own ears right now.
I mean, there are... there are software mixers you can actually buy and use, and there are a few ones.
Yeah, but it's really not worth it to do something like that.
I'm not worried about it.
I'm just saying it's much better to go through a hardware solution than software.
Completely.
Shadow Trident.
Oh, I already did it in my chat.
What are we doing?
Hello, Matt. Sorry, I'm not paying attention. This is a podcast, so we're not addressing chat too much. I love your face.
I said hi. I said hi like 6 times in chat every time he says hi, so I don't want to hear it.
You did?
I said hello.
Yeah,
to
I
him
might
once.
be high.
But yeah, generally, those who are new to the podcast, the way the podcast, generally, it's discussion between. We pick things up from chat at certain points in time. Generally, we chat till the end of the podcast.
Did you almost fall game?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Salt water.
Adult water. Adult water.
Salt
I'm not.
water.
Why you guys are insinuating that I have been drinking?
No, you're fine.
Okay, make sure.
If you're gonna say anything, I can't hear you. All I hear is Slayer. All right, problem solved. Slur. All right.
You're welcome.
You're a bunch of sluts. All right, enough of that.
Oh man.
Fucking do. God damn it. All right. So
Now that we've derailed.
Oh, wait, I got a better one. Let me go over to my channel and bang Spike. It's his favorite thing.
no, don't bang me. I'll go shoulder deep.
You will.
Spike loves his theme song.
Well, there's the
That's
first one of that
zoom in.
finally.
Somebody go back to that VOD and grab that image for me, please.
Oh, it'll be on YouTube for everybody to get.
Uh,
Hour and 43 minutes.
Hour and 53 minutes. Got it.
Okay.
Next topic.
But this is ZeniMax forced Captain Sparkles to change name of Fortress Fallout mobile game because of potential confusion with the Fallout series.
What was I talking about earlier in lovely Bethesda?
Yep, this is actually the second time in recent history that Bethesda's made a move. Third time? What was the third incident? I know Scrolls.
Scrolls, they tried to sue for the VR incident for stealing of technology.
Yeah, I remember that.
There has been over
that wasn't
10
copyright.
lawsuits.
No, I guess that could be copyright bad, but yeah, you're right. So this is all right. So
This is as asinine to me as Candy Crush putting copyright candy in.
Yeah. So essentially, what happened here is there is a YouTuber by the name of Captain Sparkles, which is relatively large. He decided to address, or not address, but um, talk to an indie development team with the intent on creating a mobile game called Fortress Fallout, which is a 2D kind of destroy the fortress game. And Bethesda found out about this title and recently said or sent out a cease and desist letter towards Captain Sparkles, which is this is actually like the third time he's received a cease and desist. What is with Captain Sparkles getting fucked by everyone?
Every idea he's ever brought out has been smacked. So.
Yeah.
But they sent him a cease and desist, and basically the terms of it was you're going to change the name of this game, or we're gonna bring this into a legal situation. And he had two options. One was go forth with the legal idea and sue, try to get, or not sue, but go through that.
Tried
process.
to defend himself against a multi-million, billion dollars company's lawyers.
Or what ended up actually happening was be strong-armed into essentially changing the title of his game. So he
had the choice of getting fucked or getting fucked.
Yep. So the end result here is that Captain Sparkles is changing the name of his iOS and Android free to download game where you build a tower and then destroy the other person's tower.
Wait, is that actually what he's fully calling it?
No. That's what it is. But it could have been confused as a Fallout.
Completely.
Now, here's the thing. I can understand where Bethesda is coming from with something like this. And the reason why I can understand it is not because, you have the trademark for it, you own your right. No. The reason why is because there's so much hype around Fallout right now that even though it seems asinine to think someone could confuse this, there is the possibility that someone could, in fact, confuse this as a Fallout game.
Yeah,
I guess
completely.
There's a point to that.
And the only reason why, I understand, I definitely don't think Bethesda's in the right. I think they should have just said whatever.
Yeah.
But, I can see why Bethesda and ZeniMax are making a move like that. Especially, mind you, if this E3 thing, all right, is Fallout 4. Because this is really close to Fallout, or to
calm the fuck down for half a second.
This is really close to E3, and if they are intending on announcing Fallout 4, having a game like this might actually affect something like that.
I mean, in general, if they're honestly going to pull this in there, if they're going to do it, the same thing like the, I'll save what I was going to say. I'm going to pick something else. Like E3 in general, I mean, why not just put it at PAX or one of the other gaming communities? If you want to do a signature release and want to blow it up, put it in the gaming community. Don't build your own shit and say, come to us.
Well, here's the thing, though, game. E3 is overhype. That is just the embodiment of what E3 has become. E3 is the hype train of the industry. Every gamer out there is like, what's going to be announced at E3? What's coming to E3? Like, PAX is big. PAX Prime is really big, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But come on. How many times do you hear people like, yeah, E3, what's coming out? Because that's just what E3 is. It's just a hype train.
No, I mean,
So
it's managed
it
to get back to that
for,
status. They had some flubs those 2 years.
Watch Dogs. But I mean, like, it would make sense in a sense of like that like Bethesda's like, if they're announcing Fallout 4 at E3, this was pretty close to E3, right? It would make sense. Gotta hide the dogs. This is not over here.
I was trying to move my chair, and they're always sleeping behind me. So.
Oh. So it would make sense if they announce it at if they announce Fallout 83, they would be like, we don't want anyone to confuse what Fallout is.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess Mark has.
It's
Mark
where if there is copyright issue down the road, they show that they will defend their properties.
Yeah,
It
but
still
this-
feels
the thing is,
very
though-
strong army, though.
Yeah,
It is strong arming.
This is what Bethesda is. Like this, Bethesda and ZeniMax, anything, literally anything that comes close to like conflicting with one of their trademarks, they're like, get on it. That's just how they do things. So I understand where you're coming from with like, it shows that they will defend their stuff, but they're a little overzealous.
Yeah. The scrolls thing is the...
Yeah, that was silly. But I mean, again, I still understood why they did it because, you know, but he is a hype train. Hype. It is
Games
hype.
with Fallout in the title.
Just so you can purposely go to Bethesda and be like, "Hey, get on it."
More like
Send them
there's a
every
million-
single fucking game.
More like at this point, I'm slightly confused because if they trademarked a word, that's like for me talking about trademarks. Time Warner Cable and their copywriting of the birthday song.
Right.
Who the fuck decided that they could own the Happy Birthday song?
They did.
When was that a thing?
I
They
didn't know
did,
it was
and-
Time Warner.
Yes,
That's
Time Warner
fucking
Cable owns it.
hilarious.
You cannot physically sing or have sung "Happy Birthday to You" on a
Wait.
Twitch channel. It is legally owned by Time Warner Cable.
Cable Time.
Yes.
All right. The first thing I heard Warner, and the first thing I said was Warner Brothers. All right, that would maybe, but Time, like the cable company.
Yes,
Why
the
the fuck
cable
do they
company
have
owns
a
it.
Happy Birthday?
Exactly.
What is the point of that?
Exactly.
Don't sing it on your Twitch. Have it in your... Put it on YouTube.
They will come after you. We just lost Spike.
I wonder what that did to the overlay. Did that break everything?
It probably fucked up.
Oh well.
Guru just slightly zoomed.
Whatever his name is.
I literally just forgot his name. Keanu Reeves.
That was Keanu Reeves?
Wasn't it? I don't know. I only like...
What if Etho hasn't shown his face? Because he's waiting for Kakashi to show his. Kakashi! Oh, no, wait, you're Karashi. Never mind. Sorry, I confused you. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
pardon me. Now Warner Chappell Music is trying to claim that that the 120-year-old
What
song
is with
is theirs.
Warner? What the fuck is with Warner? Chill your goddamn nips.
So this has been around for 120 years before the cable company was originally around. A. B. This was being sung before the fucking phone lines existed. So I'm really fucking confused. I mean, don't get me wrong. If what's his
Somewhere
name
out
from the-
there exists a radio emanation of a telegraph that they're going to have to capitalize. It's
apparently,
out there in space, and they're...
Totes. That's so stupid. Time Warner. Really? It's Time Warner?
and now Warner Chappell's suing for it. I'm reading it.
TwitchCon!
TwitchCon. What? There you go.
Yeah, Twitch recently announced they're doing a convention now. The Twitch convention, I believe it was September 20th. It's in San Fran. I know that much. Yep,
Yeah.
September 25th to 26th in San Francisco, California.
Yep.
Twitch convention, which is basically VidCon for Twitch streamers.
basically, yeah.
So, yeah.
It's close enough for me to give a shit.
Really? Because I still don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure most...
Because doesn't this fall in the same line as PAX? Like in the
I
same
believe it's
month?
very close. It's very
I can
close.
tell you right now, as much
Most
as
people would go to PAX.
And
Yeah.
say, are the timetables that together?
they're pretty close.
Yeah.
I mean, in the concept of it, this is what's going to happen. PAX Prime tickets are going to sell out. Well, whoever is left after missing that is going to TwitchCon.
We'll go to TwitchCon. That's probably a pretty fair assumption.
Unless, obviously, there's casting Twitchers who can go play that, who want to go to TwitchCon or need to go to TwitchCon for whatever PR. But in the
It's
generalization
close.
of it.
That being said, though, most of them are already at PAX anyways. Pro
Yes.
Syndicates or Gassy. whoever else. It's okay. Anybody else? Transient. They're all at PAX Prime anyways. Already.
All right, here's the thing.
They're not going to go to both.
Well, I don't know. It's close, but it's not
Maybe-
too close.
Maybe some of them that are by Twitch. Yeah, see is
Because
very
September, the Twitch convention's supposed to be September, like late September.
25.
PAX Prime this year is late August. So I mean, it's close enough that maybe, but I think a better space would have been more appropriate. Especially like here's the thing, TwitchCon is very specific right now because what is Twitch? Twitch is video
A
game
community.
casters.
Mhm.
That's like they're only just starting to like branch out a little bit into this creative thing and game talk shows and all that other stuff. But
Yes.
as of right now, it's basically everyone that knows about Twitch for people playing games, right? So that's very specific. There's a very specific market. And how many other conventions do we have that are video game oriented?
Yeah.
Because we have PAX, we have E3, we have 5 different fucking PAXs.
Yeah.
Like there's so many other gaming oriented things. Like Twitch, do you have a big enough audience that you think you can support an entire convention? Here's the thing though. I understand Twitch, like at PAX. At PAX, Twitch gets a lot of people at their booths.
Yes.
A lot of people. Like
Yeah.
a lot of traffic the whole time. So maybe, I hope they don't get overzealous with it and they're like, get a big convention house. Big. And then like 2,000 people show up.
Yeah, see that's the thing, right? Is that
That's
if
how all
they do
cons
that,
are.
if they do that, they need to make
Except
sure
E3.
that they're well aware of the money they actually need.
I mean,
It's
the concept of
going to be small to start.
Yeah.
People could have said the same thing. Any arcade.
Yeah,
No.
I guess that's true.
I mean, that's still relatively new. That fucking.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's pretty
I mean,
big.
That being said, it is to this point of oversaturation.
I mean, and the concept of it coming from I've been a part of 2 starting cons inside of Ohio. One of which was Colossal Con. First Colossal Con that ever came out, we were understaffed, overbooked, and over our threshold ratios because we didn't know what the fuck a threshold ratio was. And the year after, nobody decided to come because of last year. And then all of a
Because-
sudden after that, we were fine. So and this has been every con that has ever started up. Every con. So I'm picturing this is going to be the same fucking thing with TwitchCon, the same thing it was probably when PAX East rolled out and all those others.
You're thinking Twitch is gonna underestimate what they're gonna get in traffic?
They have, what is it, 1 million casters going at any given second on Twitch.
100,000 casters
100,000,
at any
pardon me.
given second.
So
yeah,
they
the
have
million
that
number
many
that went out
casters.
recently. Chip number,
I
because
don't
I know 1 million got thrown up.
But in the concept of it in general, there's more people than that watching. That's just any given second. But you're also talking around the world. But even then, if the Twitch community, which both toxic and untoxic, decide to get together in one place, that is the thing that I think is a bad idea.
Maybe.
Because
Here's the thing, though. How many of those toxic viewers are gonna have the money to say, "Yeah, I'll go troll at TwitchCon"?
the same ones who troll at PAX.
Right.
I'm
Touche.
confused here. Have you
Touche.
never been to? I'm gonna
I've
quote
never
something.
been to a convention ever.
Sir, what are you planning on doing late August?
Me?
Yes, what are you planning doing late August?
Mass Effect-a-thon.
Cool. The end of August, you are doing something else. There you go.
Am I going to PAX?
You're probably going to PAX. Everybody needs to go to
Well,
a
I
PAX
guess it's
at
a
least
good thing we
once.
start advertising it now, so my
Yes.
minuscule viewership could save up the money.
Are you kidding me? I just did. You remember I just got.
The Miss Lee.
She's coming. I'm getting somebody flown over from frickin' Australia. Mind you, she's paying a lot of it herself. But I mean, $500 I just got here. For $500, I'm pretty sure you can go to PAX Prime, eat, sleep, and drink.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, depends on how much you
Unless
drink.
I decide to be a fat American, say, I'm not doing anything right this second. I guess I'll go eat food and drop like $300 on just food. But
Then
yeah,
I'll pay for your food bill. What if?
The game.
Yes. Everybody needs to experience a PAX at least once in their life. A PAX, at least once.
So basically, what you're telling me is I need to go get con flu. Everyone needs to experience con flu. Is that what you're saying?
You have to go through it the same way all of us have. I feel so bad. Not shout out or otherwise. I feel so bad for Joy Girl. She caught it so bad this year. I was dying. Oh my God, I felt so bad.
I've seen some people get pretty bad con flu. Yeah.
And the only people see the funny part is con flu is like an industrial thing. If you have never been to a convention before, you are going to get con flu. You have no choice in the matter.
Right.
Yeah, this much I know.
Even if you have been, you still get it.
I build
just
up
to
a very good
explain,
immunity.
con flu. All right,
you can say that. You just haven't been touching the right people.
Here's the thing you need to think about, or you need to know in order to understand con flu. A convention is where a large conglomerate of people that enjoy one specific topic or a multitude of topics go to coagulate in one area. Just so you know, gamers aren't always hygienic. Con flu.
Fight the power.
That's all you need to know.
Fight the power, take a shower. That's all I have to say. For the love of God.
Well, I mean, and you don't even have to even break it down by that. It's just a confined area with a large amount of people all breathing the same air.
Semen air?
Semen air. Semen air.
I
There's
like
just
semen.
semen in the air everywhere.
There's semen in the air. That is a massive semen.
But I mean, with so many different types of bacteria coming out of something is going to enter yours.
Oh, completely.
All it takes
Especially
is
with
one
the-
person with a cold, and then everyone dies.
Especially with the concept that, unbeknownst to a lot of people, there are a lot of foreign people who come from across seas that have all kinds of their germs coming across, which then you get to get a hold of and have fun trying to figure out what you just got.
Awesome. Thanks for inviting me, game.
You're welcome. You'll
I am
enjoy it.
enthralled by the possibility of
Getting the bubonic plague.
hip abe
Okay,
clap.
come
Oh,
on.
I'm sorry, it wasn't bubonic.
There you go.
Demonic. All right.
Close
Con flu equals game herpes. That is exactly
Yes.
what it is.
Gamer herpes. That's it. Everybody has to get it once.
Everyone has. All right, so
There's only one.
the next one. I don't even care about Epic.
Yeah, I mean,
ahead.
it was kind of just the point of
I mean,
Epic's
it's
throwing
nice.
out grants to people who are using Unreal Engine. They're just like, we're going to help fund this project that.
I mean,
Yeah.
in general, this is just going to do nothing more than help bring up the game community, because there's a lot of people who don't have access to strong engines that are still using like Unreal Engine 3, 2. I mean, there's a bunch of people who are just using those simply because they don't have the money to afford the actual rights to use a heavy engine. So this is going to do nothing. Like, I know, like, Onkart. Okay, Onkart's going into the gaming industry. For those of you who don't know Onkart, he's the creative Onkbar, which we all know and love.
He's working inside of for now.
Yes. But I mean, on a personal aspect, if he actually decides he's going to do something himself, he has the ability to do a lot more because of these grants that are already out there. I mean, it's a blatant. I mean, for $5 million, I mean, obviously that's not $5 million going to every person. That's split among probably 100,000 idiots that are sitting there with an idea that they're not even going to use.
God damn it, Shadow.
Whatever. Show up on inside of Fallout 3 radiation suits and make it look like you're cosplaying. I've already done that before.
That sounds like a heat stroke.
It is.
Yeah.
Bad idea. I also had a tube bag filled with adult water and Sprite.
Adult water.
And Sprite.
I need to remember that. That sounds amazing.
It's like Scout water, except that's flammable.
You're welcome, Ben.
You can get a free Unreal Engine for academic use, but if you use it for academic use, you can't publish it.
Yeah, that's right. I was gonna actually address that just then.
Which is stupid, but
so that's that topic. Pretty straightforward and easy. So 1886, the order.
How many? Okay, let's preface this. Start. How many people have you seen finish?
2.
never played it. Never watched anybody play it.
I've seen 4 people finish, and all of their responses have been individual but the same.
What's that?
It's
Fuck game.
yeah. The one person I saw, it was the leak. So there wasn't, the leak of the playthrough. I saw that, and then I saw I saw Hotbox finish it, but there was another person on YouTube that I saw finish it today. Before I started my cast, I didn't watch the whole thing because that's 6 hours and I only had 3. Zing. But I saw the last episode of it, and basically the consensus is that it is fucking short.
Yes.
It is fucking short, and it is flush with cutscenes.
It's a movie. This is the point where I go BioShock on this game.
Well, no, BioShock wasn't a movie. It should have been a movie.
It should have been a movie.
This is a movie that shouldn't have been a fucking game.
Exactly.
But that's what I'm saying.
Like, okay, I usually say game length is not a determinant.
I agree.
That being said, it has to be. All right, you've got a $60 price tag. Can be 5 to 10 hour experience, depending on.
Mm-hmm.
More than half of that game is movie.
Yes.
And nobody has been satisfied with the ending.
Yeah, it's either cutscene or it's walking to cutscene.
People get pissed and they pay $13 to sit their movie sucked ass. Now you're asking them to pay $60 for a game that I have not seen anybody be happy about the ending.
Yeah, at all, period.
What about a game like Indigo Prophecy? Well, Indigo Prophecy is different.
Lagnac. Fuck David Cage and anything David Cage ever works on. And if you ever talk about David Cage in the chat again, I will fuck you in the face hole.
So that happened.
Done. I'm done.
It's still different.
It is still different, yes.
I never even knew this game existed, so.
Indigo Prophecy?
Yes.
That was a recent one that came out, right?
They originally released in 2005 and was remastered regionally.
Oh, Fahrenheit Indigo Prophecy.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Well, there's a word before that. But that's there's a game part to that though. It is very story driven, but it's like saying, then why would you play The Walking Dead, or why would you play Tales from the Borderlands or something like that? You're right. It is very movie, story driven, cutscene, but there's the interaction that the player gets to have with it. In The Order, there's no interaction in the cutscenes. You're just
no interaction anywhere.
Watching it. No, there's interaction. You can kill things. You can use a gun. You can run around and kill things, hide behind cover, kill more things. But that's like 40% of the game. The rest of it is you walk from point A to point D, interact with another person, cutscene.
And more cutscenes.
And they're charging $60 for this experience.
Yes.
$60 on an exclusive platform. How much harder can you fuck yourself? I mean, if it was multi-platform, at least you have different threads to hope on. But no, PlayStation 4, $60, 5 to 10 hours, and that's
In general,
that 10 hours is like, taking the game slowly.
Right.
Like we're not talking like everyone is speed running this thing. That's like, experiencing the game and you're just done 10 hours. Maybe 15 if you, I don't know, shove your finger in your nose and needed to go to hospital for a couple hours.
And I'm gonna take a bet on this one. I'm calling DLC is gonna be brought out, and you're gonna have to pay for it.
Yes.
And you're gonna have to pay for it.
Oh yeah.
It's a fucking console exclusive. All they have is DLC at this point.
Yep. Or wait, no, you never know. They could pull a fucking Unity and be like, hey, we're sorry. We know this game's absolute shit. Here's a free DLC, which was actually part of the original game in the fucking first place. But here you go.
Best company 2015.
I mean, honestly, half the games are coming out right now, and I'm not going to even call this a shout out. I would rather go play Chucklefish games. I fucking love Chucklefish games. I would rather go play all the fucking Chucklefish games that are out right now than play anything that's out these days at all.
The Order 1886 is basically a game about a like the old styled kind of like vampire, werewolf, demon hunters. It's basically a game that involves an order of said people.
It's like playing the Secret World, but it's not fun.
I mean, some people would argue the Secret World isn't fun, but
yes, there was. Are you kidding me? The game that game almost shut down the company when it first came out because people were like, "Oh, this game's amazing! This game is amazing!" And got to the first investigation mission and quit.
Chucklefish.
Chucklefish. Risk of Rain, Risk of Rain, Wanderlust Rebirth. They're a publishing company that was brought out. The same people who Leth helps work with a lot of his stuff. If you know who Leth is, he's the creator of Wanderlust Rebirth. A lot of the games that come out are completely indie, like mostly 100% everything. Obviously, they have a publisher, but still in the concept of it, they're indie developers making these games, and 90% of them that have come out of Chucklefish, I have issues putting down. Risk of Rain, one of my favorite 2D scroll shooters ever.
I've seen you play that game
I have issues with it. I have a problem. I'll admit to my problem, damn it. But I mean, like, you can go look up Chucklefish, and yes, they have a lot of games. Like, if you actually go look them up, they have too many games.
I've heard of Risk of Rain.
The Order
Starbound.
Is Starbound Chucklefish?
Yes.
Oh. It's an order of said people who fight werewolves, but mostly random men, but also werewolves. But again, 99% men. And hilariously bad QTEs.
Hilariously bad. Terrible.
Yeah, I've heard people say it's unresponsive. Specifically, Hotbox has said that. Are we skipping Last Guardian?
I don't even...
Really? You two don't know what Last Guardian is? Do you remember Shadow of Colossus?
Yes.
What do you think of that game?
Fantastic.
I hated it.
Polar opposites. Awesome.
It was a boss rush game. How could you not love that?
Because I'm bad. Now picture this: you have a me kid who does nothing but go downstairs into his father's basement and play all the arcade games he's fixing for years. Okay, we're talking like Metal Gear. Oh God, my memory.
Those
we're talking
good old
like,
Metal Gear cabinets.
Yeah, Metal Gear cabinets. Like all the games in the world, like every single one of them came through. I used to play them. Rampage World Tour, oh fuck. You know what? Give me a second. I have all of them on here because I'm actually working on a couple.
Okay, The Last Guardian is supposed to be the spiritual successor to Shadow of Colossus. It had a lot of the development team that was working on it. The lead designer.
Go team on it.
Yeah. The lead designer, or not the lead designer, but the head behind Shadow of Colossus and The Last Guardian left. And for a
Yeah.
while there was like a 3-year like span of time where there was just nothing on it. And recently a lot of people have been like, it's done. People were giving up on it. It's quit. And Sony's like, no. We're still working on it. It's still in development. So
Still do. Like every
So
other
there's-
beta.
yeah. But it's not available to anyone. It's coming out. They actually don't even know what platform it's coming out on yet. They just know that the people behind it are like, it's still in development. They're assuming it's going to be a PlayStation 4 exclusive, but
I mean, the publisher is Sony.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, Sony's released games on PC before,
Yeah.
and they've also put games. I don't think they put games on Xbox, but I think there's been a Sony title on GameCube, right? Didn't they put a Tomb Raider game on GameCube, or am I thinking different?
We'll go look. Sony published.
Fucking sluts.
I mean, the concept of it doesn't sound like something Nintendo would allow to happen, but at the same point, I mean, Crash Bandicoot was a Sony production back when, and that was for the GameCube.
Yeah, but that also changed owners.
Yeah, it changed hands.
Yes.
But the point is that the Last Guardian is supposed to be the spiritual successor to Shadow of Colossus, and it's the people that are publishing it have said it's still in development. Even though there were a lot of times that people were like, "Oh, it's over with," because there was a long period where there was just nothing.
Yeah.
They
Fallout
released
4?
like a trailer, and then that was like it.
Fallout 4.
Fallout 4.
But I mean, the concept of it, yes, I hated the game. I hated everything about Shadow of Colossus. I hated the expansive running of nothing to fucking do but try and figure out how to get to said boss. That
You
was the
didn't
reason
have to
I hated
figure it
it.
out. You held up your sword and it pointed
I
you in
know.
the direction.
It pointed me exactly where I needed to go, but I hated the fact if I want to play a boss rush game, I will go play. Oh God, I'll remember it later because I've spent enough time thinking about games that I can't remember.
Games.
Games I can't remember. But when it comes down to it, the spiritual successor, if they brought out a new Shadow of Colossus that had the same boss rush standard Shadow of Colossus, there is so much good that can come of that, especially money wise.
I don't think it's going to be the exact same. Well, here's the thing. I've looked at it, and I think it's called The Last Guardian, right? I think it's less about like a boss rush and more of just because Shadow of Colossus, a lot of what it was defeating like giant embodiments of like evil or whatever kind of thing it ended up being. To essentially, no, they were guardians. It was defeating all of the guardians to save the life of a girl.
Yes.
I remember that had been put into some kind of perpetual sleep or what have you. The Last Guardian, I believe, is less about fighting them and more about interacting with the last one that exists. Because the trailers of it shows it like being a puppy dog, a very big one, but still like a puppy.
It's a very big.
I could see that being a thing.
I mean, when it comes down to it, though, what I'm confused about is, let's say that is true. I could have fucking sworn you had to kill all the guardians in the first game to let the girl wake up in the fucking first place. So how is there another guardian left? Fourth wall.
I don't know.
I mean,
Okay.
well, here's the thing with those games, typically, too.
Fucking
Team
slut.
Eco doesn't tend to make direct sequels to their game.
Yeah.
So they're
Eco was a thing, and Shadow of the Colossus was basically a bond from E. Like, there was a similar character you could tie between the two storylines, but that was the connection. So I'm assuming The Last Guardian will kind of take that way. Probably won't be a Shadow of the Colossus game in any, but it'll have a familiar thematic and some kind of character tying the whole thing.
It'll be like Zelda.
Except Zelda has some kind of ass backwards fucking storyline behind it that's supposedly all interconnected.
Oh, fuck
All I want to know is
Nintendo's official
Link
timeline
driving
that
a
they
train. Fuck
think
you,
is trash.
Nintendo.
Nintendo's official timeline. You know what we call that? Guys, I got an idea. I got a good one. We're gonna link all of these together. It'll be great.
And we're gonna make the first 2 games that we ever made the ending.
I'm almost amazed they didn't write out Zelda 2 from that timeline.
Oh,
And you know what the sad thing is? Zelda 2 is a really good game if you don't have to think about what's happening. If
Okay.
you've got a guide guiding you through that game throughout the Eric Bull, perfectly fine side scroller.
I can't stand anything from before Nintendo 64.
Zelda CD? How dare you? Some of my favorite games are in there.
I really can't. It's just, I don't
Dude,
know.
Streets
I
of
look-
Rage. Streets
I
of Rage
can't-
alone. Come on.
No. And here's the reason why, okay?
I'm old.
Looking-
I had a whole lot before it came out. And 64 was my late teenage.
That was my, wow, we're really close in age then. I mean, I played the Sega Genesis. I
Sunset
played
Riders.
The Super Nintendo. Anything that was, I don't know, it felt, the reason why was because the developers back then, a lot of people are all like, why don't they make games like they used to? You mean buggy and barely working?
They still do that.
They still do that.
On the regular.
confused.
I mean, this is the point. The point here is that the point here is that like developers, we're a lot more learned. We know a lot more mechanically. We know a lot more with depth and execution, and everything before Nintendo 64 just felt vague and pointless.
Final Fantasy games.
Well,
Final
that's what
Fantasy
they've
games.
always
Pointless, I
said.
wouldn't go.
I mean, some of them, don't get me wrong, some of them were. Like the original, let me go real far back. The original Aladdin game for Super NES and Nintendo Portable. Completely useless fucking game that you didn't know anything fucking about or what was going on. Earthworm Jim. What the fuck were you doing that entire game? Please, somebody explain that to me.
Like, I mean, even in PlayStation 1, they really started to expand upon it. You know, like, look, Crash Bandicoot, you look at that game and you're like, your Bandicoot runs around. But, like, they actually at least try to put some kind of elements that make you want to run around.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
like,
some sort of
like
like
the original Castlevania, which was, I
Cheap shots on the Castlevania.
can't. I just can't. I can't do anything before N64. I don't care if it's like, if you don't like me, fine. Here's the problem. I'm still right.
You're still right.
How can you tell me I'm wrong about not liking something, sluts?
I mean,
Alright.
when it comes down to it, there's so many. I mean, in the concept of it, I'd rather play a lot of the older titles. That's just because, like I said, I grew up with arcade cabinets in the basement. There are a lot of old titles that I will play the fuck out of before I would touch anything these days.
I still play it.
I mean,
It's because I have more fun with it. They did 5,000. Most of the I can teleport around just as much in Skyrim as I can.
Exactly.
Just rub against a wall long enough until you've got a direction and you're gone.
Super Mario Brothers 3D, break through the first 6 walls, get to the end of the game in 1 hour? Yes.
you're missing the point.
No, we're not arguing against your point.
No, I'm not disagreeing that most of what you're saying is true. Most. I'm not going to completely agree with you. I'd be drunker if I did that. But
Drunker.
drunker.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. Hey, I just started. Honestly, I actually just started.
The fact that you have to affirm that to me.
I had to affirm. Well, you guys have been thinking I've been drinking adult water this entire time. I do keep on saying it because I have it, and you guys kept on thinking it, so it's funny.
God damn it, I'm done. All right. So I think we've covered everything that we have here, right? Because we did the Stomping Land, we did Hand of Fate. Unless you don't want to talk about that, that's just a release thing.
It's not. It wasn't that bad. I do have it. I have played it. I mean, I don't think it's that bad of a game. I mean, it's weird, but it's good.
It's unique.
Yeah, unique. Good word.
Like it takes
has just from this description you put here, it has Card
it's a
games,
card.
tabletop.
Yeah, it's a card game.
Tabletop.
It's an indie-made card game with RPG elements to it.
Yes.
Essentially, what you do is you it's like a dungeon run sort of thing, except with cards. You have your character. Character gets put on the first card. You flip that card over, and then you get like a little map of cards from there on out, and you can travel through said map of cards to activate certain events. And events can be like a wandering merchant, a band of bandits, a cave, and sub maps and all this other stuff can occur.
It's like playing what's that game? It's like playing the Oregon Trail, but you can see where the trails are actually fucking going, and choose your own destiny.
Kinda, because it's still random what's going to be underneath it.
Yeah,
you just can actually like pick a little more directly where you're going. Kind of, yeah, though. And then while it has that kind of like desktop kind of card game element, combat is actually like a live action sort of RPG where you can equip your character with X number of things like a helmet, armor, an axe, a sword, a hammer, what have you. And then you can actually use those things in actual physical combat that's not dice roll oriented.
Nope.
Yeah, it's
weird.
It's very different from what you would expect a game to be made like.
Yeah. But I mean, this game, honestly, and I'm going to put it the only way I can, this is what gamers have been asking for a lot. And I don't mean that the concept of the game itself, but when they're talking about innovation of starting a new concept, this is an innovative concept that somebody is bringing out.
It's definitely new.
Yeah, this is an actual new concept. This is what gamers have been asking for a long time, and I'm hopefully going to be pleasantly surprised that the gaming community is going to like it for its ingenuity and concept. Is that actually going to happen? Fuck no, but I can dream.
I mean, I like it specifically because Spike hates dice roll mechanics in any way, shape, or form. Not true. I hate dice roll mechanics when they're invasive, like XCOM and Dragon Age Origins.
95% chance to hit, still miss.
No, not even just that. 95% chance to hit, miss, and one shot your sniper.
Oh yeah, with the rocket incident. Hey, it does tell you that it has a small deviation path. It does. The deviation path is completely random, but whatever.
I fucking like stuff like that where dice roll like is super invasive into it. Like I could stand it a little bit in The Witcher, the original Witcher. The original Witcher's combat system was very wonky and very weird, definitely dated, but it had dice roll mechanics in it, and I could still tolerate it. Yeah. I played through that entire game on the hardest difficulty, which is something I don't fucking do with dice roll games. Don't even want to deal with that. But it was tolerable to an extent, because at least I could decide, like, is this type of attack format going to affect this monster? Because it actually had that type of intelligence, not like, you missed. I don't know why you missed. You just missed.
That's why I really wish they would bring like the Witcher concepts, like original Witcher into Witcher 3. I wish they would bring that into a lot more games where there are certain items that'll work better towards something. Because even Dragon Age doesn't fucking have that. I mean, you can sit there
Witcher 2.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, they keep bringing it up from Witcher 1 to 3 in between. I mean, the Witcher concepts, everything about the Witcher, where Silver Sword, different spells affecting different things a little bit better. Kind of like the same thing Final Fantasy does, where, thunder, lightning, elementals, all that crap. Not a lot of RPGs are doing that anymore. I mean, Dragon Age, I equip a sword that has, thunder damage on it. It still does the same rational damage to everything, even if it's a fucking rock. And it just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from now. There are a bunch of games that, or a bunch of like, you could even look at Borderlands as an example, which has a variety of different ways or different elemental abilities, and really the only thing that you need to worry about is slag first, everything else after.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, that's the one thing I was liking. Don't get me wrong, I hate TPS. In the concept of my favorite Borderlands, TPS I fucking hate. The storyline's wonky, the gameplay
a lot of people
is so-so.
Yeah, I think a lot of people agree the same thing, that Borderlands 2 was the best out of the three.
Now, mind you, this was made by a separate conglomerate, so for a first game they've popped out, it was actually a really good game. Judging it based on the game itself as a first company standpoint, it was a great first shot. Do I like it considering the Borderlands increments? No. Why? honestly, I thought slag needed to get the fuck out anyway because that was a system breaking element. All you needed to do was slag it, and then any sniper could go in the back and go, "Okay, everybody back away." Why? Because you don't need to fucking be there anymore, and just take him out in one shot. I mean, I've done that even on Ultra Vault Hunter mode, whatever the fuck it was called back then, where I'd slag somebody, have my super weapon from Godzilla, and fucking take its head off. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, slag is so game breaking that the only thing not worth slagging is re-slagged enemies.
Yes.
Otherwise, slag something and then fucking hit.
And I mean they're even in TPS. I can't even remember what's that special element thing in TPS they brought out. I mean they have. You haven't played
Oh, yeah.
TPS. And the concept of it was a good thing because honestly, it filled for me. I loved it because it filled in all the generational holes that I'd been fucking asking all over Borderlands 2 on my first playthrough. Who the fuck's Jack? Where'd he came from? Who's this bitch? I mean, there's so much that from 1 to 2 where it was just vacant storyline, and it was just like it was like when they brought out Lion King 1.5 or 2.5, whichever one it was, when they filled in the gaps between the 2 points. I was like, mind fucking blown. I mean, it gave that to me that finally all my questions were fucking answered on why the fuck Jack became Jack in the first place. I mean, it was perfect, but gameplay shoddy at best, storyline
Yeah.
the fact that you can beat the pre-sequel on Ultimate Vault Hunter or whatever you want to call it without shooting a gun. Somebody has done it. They literally did nothing but pipe stomp everybody. Killed everybody. Every boss, everything. Just pipe stomping.
Well then,
Wasn't there that one guy very early on in pre found out how to one shot like strongest boss?
Yes.
balance.
Balance issues because they weren't existent. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can only balance something so much. There's going to be some mini-max out there like me on Dungeon Defenders 2 right now, where me and 4 guys who've been running incursions, which are the hardest thing that right now the dungeon that Trendy Entertainment can bring out. We've been speed running them. We can kill incursions in like 10 minutes, and we use 20 turrets. Even though you need to have everybody on full builds and all that other stuff, fuck that. Set up your turrets, blow everything apart. You don't even need shields. Don't need barricades, don't need spinners, nothing. Just cannons, ballistas, fire towers, whatever. Put them out, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
So are we doing this PC talk thing?
uh,
The budget build.
are you prepped for that or no?
Nope.
Then no.
Next week
Why?
on
It
Dragon
wouldn't
Ball
take
Z
that
Kai.
I mean, if you want to. At the same time, we'll open everything up to Q&A if viewers have questions or anything for us.
Yes, I'm single.
No, I'm not tight.
That's super awkward.
Well, I'm thinking. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. I'm okay with that idea. I still say what's your favorite recently released game? Mine?
Are we talking fully released or released in general?
Are we talking beta?
It's sad that that's a constant fucking thing that has to be said now. Are we talking
Yes.
early access? Are we talking greenlit? Are we talking...
Yes, exactly. Oh, how far released are we talking here?
How recent is...
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming it means within like this year of releases.
Year of releases, so 2014?
Yeah.
Shit. That's a toughie. I'd have to go with Goku screams for another entire episode. Yes.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you, actually.
When I go to
Walking Dead
it's
season
click
2. Maybe.
mouse
How far
four,
back
and
was that?
it goes into home screen
That's-
thing with time to
There's
be
so many. Let me
Was that
think.
2013 or was that 20?
I don't remember. I think that was 2014.
When am I going to play Isaac on stream? When I randomly decide to play Isaac on.
See, Torchlight 2 was
I played
Torchlight-
Isaac on stream. What are you talking about?
Torchlight 2 was 2012. Let me think. I'd have to go. Well, that's 2013. Damn it! Every game I'm thinking about is like.
I didn't even really start accruing games. Casting October.
Wolfenstein: The New Order.
It's like anything I've played is probably 2012.
I'll put it because I'm having a tough time. I'm gonna say at least for favorite comedic release, South Park: Stick of Truth.
Actually, yeah, that was pretty good too.
For comedic, because I've got too many. There's too many games on my list right now, and I can't fucking sort through them. I'm fucking happy that they finally released Final Fantasy 3, 4, 7, and 8 for the PC finally in America.
Yay!
I'm still waiting for a 5 and 6 remake,
6 years.
and I will be praying or pardon me. Wait, is it 5 and 6? Yeah, 5 and 6 remake.
Yeah, they still.
Because don't get me wrong, even if they just released 5 and 6 for the fucking PC, so I can stop using my Final Fantasy 6 CD and put it in its case and put it in a vault somewhere for the rest of its life, I'd be real fucking happy. Because my Final Fantasy 6 disc still doesn't have a scratch on it. I'd rather leave it that way.
No good games. You're confirmed.
I mean, it's just there's so many games I play that are from like 2, 5, 6, 7 years ago still. I keep up to date on fucking new games, but I mean, all the games that I play that stick in my head just fucking no.
Yeah.
I stand by what I say is what's on board graphics. The graphics card is the. I don't have another GPU. You don't have another GPU. Do you
Intel on-
have another spare motherboard? You need to troubleshoot if it is display or if it is a board issue.
I mean, I can think of a million betas that I've been a part of that I liked. EverQuest Next was real fun. I actually liked Next. I thought it was a good. I thought it was a good try at a Minecraft simulator. I mean, what?
You might actually get really lucky right now in terms of RAM. I think you can get 16 gigs for $100.
You can get the what is that? The 16 megahertz or 1600 megahertz, pardon me. 1600 megahertz what's that gaming memory card that they brought out? I have it in this fucking rig. What's it called? You know what, fuck it. I'm ripping the rig apart. Where are you?
That's
GameGooru21, best memory not fucking ever. Vengeance, the Vengeance memory, the 1600 Vengeance.
G-Scale Ripjaws.
Yeah, those two.
Oh, no. Vengeance, it's Corsair.
yeah.
Yeah, Corsair Vengeance, 1600s.
Huh.
You can get,
That
you
deal
can get those
must
for
have-
pretty much 50.
For 16 gigs?
50 for 16 gigs, yeah.
Bullshit.
No, that's what I got these for.
Where? You realize you're lucky to find 8 gigs for $50, right?
Yes.
Where the fuck did you find 16 for 50?
Warehouse down the street where I live.
Oh, well, that's bullshit. For all you know, that was stolen.
It's not.
It's not, because I said it's not.
It's not. No, I know it's not stolen because they actually all it is fucking the warehouse down the street from me gets all of the lost goods off of trucks, and I don't mean lost as in fell off trucks. I mean,
You're not building this any better, game.
it's if you okay warehouses okay when they stock trucks for shipment, if they are sent too much, they put it in this overstock room and it sits there for years and years and years. So they finally got smart and they're like, open warehouse. Here, warehouses that want stuff, take it. And they buy it straight off of the warehouse deck.
I definitely paid a lot more for my.
How much did you pay?
Uh,
Why not?
If you need something, tell me. I can go check my warehouse. I'll even ship it to you.
I'll remember that for the future.
I'm serious.
But
'cause, I mean,
unfortunately, the future isn't right now.
not right now.
We
But-
gotta build Michelle's machine, so.
There's literally he just sold a GTX 980 for 200.
GTX 980 for 200.
200.
$370 less?
Crazy.
He got a case of them for $300 because the idiots at the warehouse he goes to didn't fucking know what they were.
I call bullshit until I see a
he-
physical copy.
Right?
I don't have a copy because I didn't buy it. I'm broke.
Listen,
I'm
you
having enough
nipple.
fun. I'm having enough fun paying for my medical bills right now.
We're all
Yeah, I
broke.
understand that. We don't really need a... should be a good price range, right?
There's no Dragon Age Inquisition love.
No.
I love Dragon Age.
Super great
original.
Orion. Best memory 20. What year is this?
Can't fucking remember.
Problem is I need the GPU to display the motherboard. It doesn't have an HDMI. The graphics card does.
You need a new PC? Come to Ohio and go buy one at the warehouse.
No,
I'd
this
say
is my
ship
first
one to them.
build. I also have an AMD
Please do.
FX. Crispy
They have-
crunch.
They have.
Look
I
at
was actually.
bacon.
I saw that
I was-
happen.
I
Get
was
yourself
actually
a
over
double cheeseburger.
You're not gonna be able to stop this.
there, so just did.
All right,
Beards.
now that that's over with.
They actually had a i7. What was it? An i7 with 12 gigs of RAM, not gaming RAM, but just formal RAM. i7
It's not-
for $400 with a 2 terabyte hard drive in it, and I think it had like a 780 in it graphics card for $400.
I don't even know.
They
It's
don't buy
faster.
games until they're on clearance.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
It sounds almost too dumb to be true.
It's true, but
Yeah.
a lot of some of the other stuff they get, a lot of the desktops they get are scratch and dent.
This is why I
So-
bought HDMI cord and a DVI HDMI adapter. Here's
There's a garbage.
here's the thing. The conversion rates going with an adapter isn't really a wise decision because some especially between DVI and HDMI, it actually doesn't transfer the information as cleanly as just a raw HDMI to HDMI connection.
Percent loss is at least 10%.
Also, DVI is better than HDMI. Who the fuck needs an audio transfer? Get a fucking DVI cable and 144 megahertz refresh rate. Get wrecked, nerds.
I don't know the display part. Now the one thing, because I have a display port.
DisplayPort. Yes, DisplayPort.
Yeah.
Are they good or?
Right now, it's probably the best way to do display. Yeah.
Because I have one on this machine, and I honestly don't have a single thing that has one. So I was wondering if I should be looking for a new monitor within the next 4 years, or say
What
with
graphics
DVI,
card
I'd
do
say
you
fuck
have?
it. Right now, I have the old 630 that I had sitting in my basement on my old rig that I threw against the wall.
Well, you keep talking to me about this idea of like doing computer with me.
Yes, and right now, because of medical reasons, because originally I had $3,000 and I was going to give you $500 to build the rig for me because I'm lazy and don't feel like building another rig and taking the time. That's just the truthfulness of the statement. And then I started having spasms.
Spasms.
I'll put it this way. Think about somebody having a massive seizure, but only my right shoulder. And that's what's currently going on. That's why I have to wear Mr. Buzzy, who's sitting around here somewhere, who's actually been on me most of today, at 120 volts on my shoulder to keep it from spazzing out for any given hour.
Awesome.
That sounds.
It's great.
Yeah. I would
I'm
love
not
to
worried
put that on my penis. Oh, sorry.
I put it on my mouth once, and if I open up my mouth, you can actually see the electrical bouncing in between my teeth. True story.
You probably lost a few thousand brain cells just then, dude.
Eh.
Yeah, who needs them? Meanwhile, this is year 20 what?
Yes.
Seriously, what year
Yes.
is it? Fucking 2015,
There you go.
Is it?
I think.
I don't know.
I was about to say, I'm not gonna lie, I was about to say 2014. But then again, asking an Insomniac what time it is a really bad statement.
Damn, damn, damn.
Especially since
Wrecked.
Yes. But close.
All right, we want to go efficiency over anything else.
put it on the Google.
I would not. Was using a 9500 GT until about a month ago, and I upped to a 620. That's one hell of an upgrade.
Not really.
Well, with the 95 from the 9500 GT to the GTX 620.
The difference is probably 15%.
Between the physics engines and the GTX and the GT, it's only 15%.
And raw performance in gaming, yeah.
Oh shit. I mean, that 15% is a lot in the gaming world, but still. Sometimes. Because I'm sorry, 15%, that's every generational graphics card. From like the 780 into the 900 series. I'm pretty sure the difference is what last time I remember you talking about was like 10% or something.
Between the 980 and the 970, it's about 5 to 8% difference.
Yeah.
For $200, which is why I say don't buy a 980. It's not really worth it.
I'm still getting a 970, so
do it.
When I get the money to, the only way at this point I'm going to be able to give a graphics card is do a Thunderbus for myself, and I swore to myself I would never do that.
That's the problem.
Not
I
once
can't
in
get
this
to
life.
that part of the BIOS. I love those retro things.
Too many
What's
medical
better,
bills and no
780?
fucking insurance. Yeah.
780 Ti or a
Everything.
970? The 780 Ti. And the reason why the 780 Ti is better than the 970 is because the 780 Ti is raw performance. The 970 uses driver tricks and software tweaks.
But the 980 has downscaling.
Yeah. You could do that with a third-party software. It's only native now. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
500 watts.
Now the only thing, the 780 Ti doesn't have the ability to do 4K, does it?
Are you fucking kidding me? I can get a
I can't remember.
No. I can get a 600 watt, 80 plus gold certified semi-modular power supply for $60 fucking dollars. Holy shit.
I got 1200 in this, and I'm not even using it.
I got 1,000.
650.
650 is enough to run most normal rigs, let alone a few gaming rigs in this world these days.
Huh. Price.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think the 780 Ti has 4K abilities. Does it?
It does.
It does.
4K has actually been supported since I want to say the very end of the 500 series.
I mean, well, obviously
we haven't had physical monitors that were doing 4K, but 4K has been an
I guess that makes sense.
a doable resolution since like 580, 590.
Doable or workable?
Yeah, there's a difference.
Currently, it's still only doable.
Okay.
Because we don't actually have enough oomph on the GPU front to really support the idea of 4K.
Yeah. But apparently the PS4 has the ability to do that, even though it has a lesser graphics card than everything else in the fucking world. But apparently it has the ability.
I'm really not sure how to address your issue.
How
Epic.
can you not open the boot menu?
Because a lot of what you're saying, like the only thing that my brain is saying is that there is some kind of issue on the display front. If things are like freezing in the BIOS, then the only thing I really think of is like the GPU isn't working, or it's stopping, or
I mean, the easy way to test that wouldn't that be to flush the BIOS out of the graphics card in the first place and just flush them?
no. Another way you could do it is just use onboard graphics and see if that'll work.
Yeah.
I always
But
just flush
he
my
said
shit.
that I don't like flushing shit. I like it to stink. Wrecked.
Wreck nerd.
Turd.
Dude.
Brief poll in chat. Windows 8.1 or Windows 7?
Windows 7.
You're not chat. Fuck both of you. I'm kidding.
Windows 8.1. You mean you have to down... Well, Nate left.
Go. What was that about?
Did anything change? No.
No.
Hmm.
I mean, the only I'll put it this way: there's a reason why Windows 10 is supposedly going to be free.
Windows
Because
7,
Windows 8
8.1.
sucks.
Well, that was basically a confirmation at this point. Is that if you were
Yes.
a Windows 7 or 8, upgrade to 10 for free.
It's not completely for free. It is free for X time. At this point, that has been addressed.
Ah.
7,
But in the
8,
concept of it, Windows really has to pull something out of their ass because a lot of people are literally flipping over to Mac. It literally 8.1 actually made about, what was it? There was somebody did journalistic of it. I think it was like 10% of PC users actually decided that it was worth flipping over to a fucking Mac than dealing with Windows anymore. So they're willing to pay another $1,000 per capita per machine to go to Mac than deal with Windows at all anymore. Don't get me wrong, I like Macs. I actually use a Mac in my basement, not for gaming.
Yeah. Video production, music production.
Especially music production.
Yeah.
GarageBand, free.
Exactly.
Dun, 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 dun. Final Cut
Wow.
Express, free.
Huh. You can
Windows
get-
Movie Maker, piece of shit.
You know, I was actually expecting to have a little bit of issue creating a really powerful machine at this
For how
price
much?
point.
For how much?
Between $500 and $800 with a monitor, mouse, keyboard, and OS. Because a lot of people are all like, "It's just a tower. What about everything else?" I'm actually surprised at how well this is. Like, there's
It's
enough
not-
headroom that I can actually put in a really. Yeah.
I mean, in the concept of it, with shopping around, I mean, especially with the average person can't do that because they don't spend the time or know where to look for the things that we know.
Right.
But rationally speaking, you said four, 5 or 5, 6?
$500 to $800.
Yeah, 5 to 800.
In
5 to
between
800.
that range.
$500.
Right now, I'm actually only at $630, and the only thing I need left is the mouse and keyboard.
Which you can get any basic mouse and keyboard combo kit for $220 and even make it wireless. It's gonna be a piece of shit, but it's a fucking mouse and keyboard. Unless you're a gamer, it doesn't fucking matter.
Well,
But
it's
I
going to
mean,
be for gaming.
Yeah, I mean the intent is to make a budget gaming.
Oh.
At the price
'Cause I
range
use
of
it-
508.
To be
because I
honest, all
use
you
it-
really need is a decent optical mouse. Membrane versus mechanical. I mean, like, membrane's not so bad that you can't use it.
I use membrane. I've always used membrane only because I can't stand hearing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I like
No.
really quiet, low profile. I can't fuck.
I can't figure out the fucking DPI of some of these mice. It's just like,
What about $500 computer case?
Don't forget to make it happen. Done with that.
Okay. That was like, I mean, there was
Just-
one guy. Spike, you'd be proud of me. I actually went to some guy came into my chat and was asking me where to get a computer. I told him to build him himself. He said he was about to go to Origin PC and have them built it for him. I
Origin's
stopped him.
okay.
They are stupid expensive in what I've seen.
Well, all pre-builds you're gonna charge a premium.
Well, I mean, no, these
Um,
are custom. These are the custom built Origin PCs that they build.
Yeah, that's why I said Origin's okay. They put a lot of effort into their cases.
They do. I'm not disagreeing with that, but the concept of it, you can make a better computer.
Oh,
for
fuck
cheaper.
yes. You're
Yes.
right. You're right. I'm just saying at least it wasn't Alienware.
At least it wasn't.
Exactly.
I swear to God, if one more person comes into my channel and says, "Dude, your computer's shit. I got an Alienware,"
Little poop in their chest.
no, I can't
Not
stop
on.
laughing.
Not on.
Like, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Original Alienware was not
Definitely
bad.
agree. I agree. They were they were
Dell got a
top
hold of it.
notch.
Yes, once Dell got a hold of it, like everything Dell does,
Yep.
I will tell anybody this: if you're gonna buy a pre-built computer, just fucking go Asus. At least Asus at least puts some ability into their computers. Personally,
MSI
speaking.
too.
MSI is real good too. MSI is a little bit more on the expensive side from what I've heard, because I honestly, up until about 2 months ago, didn't actually know that MSI built computers. I thought they just built graphics cards. Not
MSI
gonna
does
lie.
a lot. They do graphics cards. They do motherboards.
Yeah,
they
I've
do
had MSI
sound.
motherboards in the past.
Yeah.
I hope Origin K 10K PC. Why? I can make you feel a whole lot worse, Mr. Euros, because currently downstairs in my basement is a super computer that cost me $30,000 to build.
Awesome. I'll donate my Death Adder to this budget build. Disregard the price.
Disregard the price. Well, no, the point is
iBuyPower
that
is a decent site for PCs. I disagree.
bullshit. iBuyPower doesn't know how to build a computer to save their fucking lives.
I disagree about iBuyPower.
Guru's eyes almost popped out of his fucking head there.
No, I one of my buddies bought one. Okay, and the only reason he bought one is there's a site that I always used to tell him to go to get cheap stuff,
Hot.
either refurbished or otherwise. It's called Woot.com. Okay, I used to get all kinds of nice things on there, refurbished or otherwise, for cheap prices before Amazon bought it. Now I don't use it anymore.
Minty, my butthole is loose.
It's completely loose.
Mm-hmm. Dell sells refurbished PCs anyways, so that's why they all suck. No.
Specific.
They don't actually sell
Dell is
refurbished
shit.
PCs. They're just
Dell
shit
is
because they're
shit
shit.
because they're not good.
They use
Their monitors are solid.
Yeah.
bullshit on that too. They're
No.
You know,
Listen.
17 inch.
Dell's monitors are pretty good. They're not top notch, but if you want to buy a cheap monitor that's built sturdily, Dell.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to, okay, we're talking about Dells. Dells are like Nokia phones. Okay, you can hit them with a hammer and they'll stay together. That's not saying much.
Nokia phones when you don't have a rock during a riot.
They were built to like sustain everything. But I mean, like, he
Nokia's
bought an iBuyPower. He bought a refurbished, okay, not a brand new one. So this is the only thing I can say. He bought a refurbished iBuyPower PC. It had an i5 processor on it. It took him 2 months and the thing fried. He fried it in 2 months. You know what he was playing when he fried it? Dragon Age 2.
Oh, well, there's a problem. Sorry.
No, that is a problem. Speaking of, look, iBuyPower gaming PCs are on Woot. $2,000. $2,000 for an Intel i7 GTX 970M laptop.
Athlon X4 8600K. That's a unlocked quad core. Yeah, cool.
Yes.
Good with that. I couldn't remember if AMD did the same thing on their code names that Intel did in terms of.
I think they did. Yeah.
Wow, this rig is actually really fucking good. I am blown away by this.
For $800, you could build something damn good with $800. You've done it before.
Mm-hmm. I know I've done it before. No, the thing is, like, with the newer generation of stuff coming out, like,
Oh, Roger.
there's some good shit available.
I mean, I'll be the first person to tell you I always sack my motherboard for better everything else, even though that's a really bad idea.
Mm,
Not necessarily.
nowadays, you can get a pretty solid board for really, really cheap.
The problem is people will spend a lot of money where they don't need to, to
My
buy
motherboard's-
something that's of a more trusted brand name when you can get competitively same working hardware at a far lower price.
Yeah. Array of laptops.
I mean, I spent a dumb amount of money on machines because I had.
Basically, I've done every time I've built a PC. I need to stop looking at Asian chocolate online.
What the fuck? Yes.
Somebody
I don't
just
know where
messaged
that
me
came
that.
from.
That was it. No, I had to read that out loud because my brain didn't understand what was going on. And all it said was I need to stop looking at Asian chocolate online, and I immediately thought a porn site. Like as soon as I
Okay.
read that.
Well then,
I have many options of. Can you stop? Fucking hell.
Damn.
So I filled my old Dell PC with firecrackers, poured gas on it, and set it on fire. Awesome.
wish should have been done.
So,
Is that like my Asus
Uh,
laptop that I threw because of Dark Souls?
thinking right now. All right, so I have a build that can go 3 different ways depending on how things work. All right.
Yeah.
So let's do this really quick. Well, it's got that. And
Do you think you can fix this, Spike?
what'd you break?
He's
I'm
not
not
even looking right now.
Yeah. Well,
Cool.
I mean, from looking at it like this, it doesn't look like there's actually any severe issues.
Right. Yeah.
Really, you're just kind of
Um,
showing me the inside of a laptop.
Thermal paste is gone. The heatsink bar
Oh.
is broken.
If
I don't
thermal
know if the
paste-
motherboard even works.
If the thermal paste is gone and you turned it on ever, it probably fried something.
Mm.
Mm. I was
didn't turn
pissed.
it
I
on
threw it
after
in.
I I didn't turn it back on. It's been sitting here without a battery, without anything in it for, I don't know. I can't remember. I think this had a GTX 360 in it. Yep, GTX 360.
Yeah. Where are we on this build before?
You can go urinate anytime you want, sir.
Break time.
Well, it's true.
I mean, I can tell you all the awful things I've done to PCs in the name of I want to know how to break it.
I basically had a computer that the case was just stripped down to the bars, just the base metal. It didn't have any of the coverings of the case anymore. And anytime the thing fucked up, I would directly kick the motherboard. That machine lasted me.
Oh, dude, I have kicked the shit out of computers in my life, and they still worked.
I built. There was a.
Say what you want about pre-builds, but for some reason, some of them are like, oh my god, good luck
Nokia
breaking
cell
it.
phones.
I've never had a pre-built. I've built every single machine.
Uh-huh.
I
Lucky.
have bought pre-builts before. The base structure for this computer is actually an HP Phoenix.
All right, so
I've owned a lot of computers throughout my life. Let's just preface that part.
okay, so I've got these things available for us. The price range will differ depending on what options we decide to do. It is going to be an AMD-based machine in terms of the CPU. The GPU, I have 2 options, NVIDIA or AMD, depending on which one you want to utilize. The reason why we're going with AMD on the CPU is because, hands down, budget, it will be better than Intel.
True story.
I'm going to go ahead and figure out a way to link this as is right now. Womp womp. This should work. What do you guys think of the new Gabe horn? And that's why I stopped talking.
Sir, why did you fall for that?
Right.
Because I didn't read it before I said it. Slut. So, this is the build I have right now. believe the our video option is removed. Yes, okay. So this is this. And as you can see on that list, I'll put it in my chat as well, I guess. On that list, there are two things missing: the CPU and the video card. Everything else is there: motherboard, RAM, power supply, case, optical drive, operating system, keyboard, mouse, etc. And the price tag is $533 with all of that. Okay, so if you want to go for the cheaper option, there is this available. It is a APU, which is a GPU, CPU in combination with one part. The benefits of doing this is obviously price. The not so beneficial element of it is that it is a integrated graphics card, which means your limitations will be based upon your RAM. You have 1600 megahertz RAM going on there, so it should not be that bad. It'll definitely perform in gaming. It's a quad core. It's unlocked. You can overclock it later on if you wish to get more performance. So the options that are available with that are very nice. Plus, if you want, later down the road, you can also buy a standalone graphics card because a slot is not taken up. And the power supply in question has more than enough headroom. Just so you're aware, this is explaining a build. This is not explaining building the build. This is explaining the parts you can buy to then build it. There are plenty of things on the internet that you can go to get tutorials on building things. It's pretty universal now. Thousands upon thousands of tutorials. This is just a list of things that would go together without a problem, and it would be a good performing machine for cheap. Thanks, game.
Welcome.
So that's the APU option. The second option is a standalone processor.
How everybody learns to build their first computer. YouTube.
Also a quad-core CPU. Also unlocked. Same frequency that it runs at. Basically, it is an identical CPU as the previous one, but it doesn't have the onboard graphics. As such, it's a little bit cheaper, but you need to buy a standalone graphics card in order to do it, which inherently comes with the price tag. So there's two options. There's the NVIDIA option, which is $150. The GTX 750 Ti. Then there is the AMD option, which is $150, which is the AMD R7 or R9 270. Both of them are 2 gigs. Both of them are low wattage. The AMD solution is more powerful, but if you happen to be an absolute brain-dead fanboy, you could always go with NVIDIA.
Which one's better?
The AMD option in this case.
Nice.
All right, so overall, that leaves the price tag as one of two things. That could either be $670 for the APU option. And again, that includes everything. That's operating system, that's monitor, that's mouse and keyboard, the case, all the components, everything. That's about $160. Or $160 to $170 for the APU solution. For the non-APU solution, why do you keep giggling? Am I going to punch both of you in the kidneys?
Trying to electrocute.
You are a strange individual.
I had somebody message me that said I was lying about not being able to see the shock beneath my teeth, so I decided to do it. Message proven. Ow.
Oh, was it game or Shadowbane that did it?
No.
All right.
Please repeat.
Anyway, so APU option $670 total. The CPU GPU option will equate out to, because I'm not good at math and I have a computer in front of me. Whoa, that is a multiplication, not addition.
This build just went to 50,000.
Basically. The CPU GPU option will push the price tag closer to $770, which will bring it much closer to the end standpoint of $800. This is maybe not the exact best you can get if you want. This is just a kind of list of things that would go together perfectly without any issue. You could always search across the internet, Google a bunch of websites that you happen to know about, find a bunch of things, ping them together, see if you can find a way to save maybe $20, $30 from that. But everything is made available, the CPU, the GPU options, and of course the rest of the components in question. I managed to, in that research time, find ways to leave you a lot of headroom on every component that was there. For example, the power supply in question that comes along with this machine has enough headroom that you can basically throw any graphics card inside of that. One, not two. Two might be pushing it. But any graphics card that is currently out there, you could slot that in without any issue due to the power supply that's there. It's also got a solid-state drive and a 1 terabyte main drive. So you have a terabyte for gaming, and then you have a solid-state for booting into the OS in 6 seconds.
Yeah, that's what surprised me, is that you managed to put the full terabyte. That's
It's
not
a
SATA,
WD
though. It's
Blue.
IDE.
Hmm?
Is it IDE?
Oh, it's SATA.
I didn't even look.
It's a WD Caviar Blue 1 terabyte drive.
Yeah.
It's basically the standardized mass storage.
Yeah.
And then there's
If you got that in a solid state drive in there, still only pushing around.
With a dedicated CPU and GPU combination. But as I said, the APU is still very much a viable solution. It is not going to be weak, just so you are clear about on this. The GPU inside of that APU that I suggested is more than powerful enough to play games like Battlefield 4 and Dragon Age Inquisition. It may not play them maxed out, but you can definitely get those games to run on this system without too much of an issue.
Yeah, solid build for the time that was put into it.
It was very slapstick. I knew what I was looking into, though.
Yeah.
GTX Titan, could you slap that in there?
I will never spend money on a Titan, nor will I ever endorse the idea of anyone ever spending money on a Titan.
Cool.
They're useless.
Mm-hmm.
Except to, people who do like CAD, maybe.
Nope, they're still useless. Why the fuck would you drop $1,000 on something that doesn't have a lifetime warranty and is not designed? Yeah, it's also not designed for 24-hour computing.
Yeah,
it's a gaming GPU that's subpar to gaming GPUs, and it's subpar. It's useless. It's just fucking useless.
Yeah, that was NVIDIA putting a product out there and basically saying, look how much money we try to get people to spend on something.
Try?
Well,
did.
They made a lot of money on the Titan. They made a lot of money on the Titan Black and the Titan Z. Which all three of them are pointless. The Titan even more so, because it wasn't even a fully unlocked GK110. That was fucking stupid. Oh, look at this top-notch gaming graphics card we made. Within a generation, they released the actual chipset. The 980, also a waste of money.
Yeah, get a 970. It's not worth getting it for 5. Unless you're trying to be like a mini-maxer and trying to figure out how far you can overclock a fucking machine before it explodes, then get a 980.
You can definitely get more performance out of a 980 if you want to justify, throwing $200 more at it. But the 970 is really the best bang for buck right now. But Spike, the 970 only has 3.5 gigs of VRAM. It's still not a 4K card. You're fine. If you buy that card and you're planning on doing 4K, you're buying the wrong card. Wait until AMD releases their 8 gig cards, because then you can SLI them in a proper configuration, or crossfire them in a proper configuration for 4K. Right now, it's not viable.
Can't you just SLI 2 970s together in the first place and be able to pop it off anyway?
The VRAM will cap out.
Roger.
Because the way SLI works is it duplicates the information, so you need to have enough VRAM headroom in order to do that, and you only have like 4 gigs fully available. on the 970. So basically that means you're actually going to only have 2 gigs available for 4K because it's got to duplicate the information across both cards.
Makes
And they
sense.
don't double the RAM.
It just
like-
spreads over the system. It's kind of like what's it called? Hyper-threading piece of RAM or CPU, right? SLI in the concept. In concept, because SLI has never been explaining to me.
I mean, I guess you could kind of explain it like hyper-threading, but it's not really the same thing because it's 2 physical cards, not 2 core. And essentially what it does is...
Have a good night, Low Sky.
Yeah, take care, Low. It allows... It's basically along the idea of adding another core.
Okay.
Because it doesn't... The only thing that becomes really applicable is the second chip itself. Like, the VRAM on that second card is basically made useless because it'll just simulate the exact same information between both cards. So it kind of works like just adding a second core at the issue.
So why wouldn't you just, in this case, like for me, like on my old rig, I had a 630 and a 500. From this, that's what graphics cards in this rig right now. I had 1 processing figures and 1 physics and 1 processing graphics. Why wouldn't you fucking just do that in the first place?
Dedicated physics. It can be useful, but really there aren't many devs utilizing physics very well anyway.
The biggest problem with a dual card setup right now.
Physics, but
yeah. The biggest problem with dual card setups is just the lack of support in the program. Most of them won't utilize 2 graphics cards. A lot of them will split the processes into where, what's the figures? Like, one may be used at 100%, but the second may be used at 50 or...
Yeah. Well, it's a little more optimized than that, but for the most part, you're never going to see a 1-to-1 scaling.
Yeah.
Like, at most, you'll probably see, like, 85% in a really good environment. Like, Tomb Raider, the scaling is really, really well. So you'll probably see, like, an 85% jump when you put 2 cards in a system. But then you'll also see other games, which, like Dying Light, when it first released, you'll actually see a performance loss with 2 cards. So it's up in the air.
Yeah, I say it's still just better to spend the money on a single dedicated.
And right now, the best one on the market would be the 970. At least bang for buck. Obviously, the 980 is better, but I mean, you're spending $200 premium for 5 to 8% performance jump.
Didn't they already just bring out recently like the 970, 980 Titan or some shit? Didn't they like just bring out some super version?
No. There's some aftermarket stuff, non-reference designs from companies like Evga and MSI, where they do a really, really intense binning process and pick out like maybe 100 to like 500 chips and then make a really high-end card out of it. But there's nothing official from NVIDIA that's new. There's the 960 that released, which is under the 970, which also is a really good bang for buck card.
Desktop GPUs. And it's funny to me because they still think that putting one like a single fan on anything is a fucking good idea these days, especially as heavy as these GPUs are processing.
The 900 series is fucking brilliant in terms of TDP.
We're not. Wait, where are we talking about?
TDP, thermal. Oh my god, I don't remember the fucking acronym. It generates a lot less heat than any of the previous generations.
Yeah,
especially on the high end.
I mean, still though, when you're talking about it, a single fan just these days isn't. If you're playing a really high intense game, I can't see a single fan being enough to keep that graphics card at optimal temperature.
The GTX 970 Strix Edition from Asus doesn't even ramp up the card's fans until it hits 60 degrees Celsius. Fun fact, while playing BioShock Infinite 1080p, it doesn't reach 60 degrees Celsius. This generation's really fucking good on heat. And wattage. Like, I went from my 660 Ti to this 970, and I'm saving like 20 watts on this card, and this card's nearly twice as powerful. So, and I haven't even gotten this card over 58 degrees Celsius, and my 660 would always like top out around 70, 71.
Yeah, I mean, and you've pushed your card a lot. I have mine.
I don't know. I've super overclocked mine like twice for testing purposes on a few things, like an extra 400 megahertz overclocked.
How many times have you blue screened?
Never.
Oh, wow, you're lucky.
No, I just know how to code. I just know how to code my computer out so that it does certain things. If that were to ever possibly get into it, I'd quit. But I put up the GPU off clock set to what? I had it at, well, let's see, how high was it? This is a 1080, so plus 329, plus the electricity boost and the fan on maxed out temperature. I've never had it jump above 50.
Celsius?
Yeah.
On a GT 630?
On a GT 630.
Pictures are bullshit.
I'll do you one better. Here, give me a minute. Add screen.
Sorry, it's just that the numbers don't. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. I've seen the 780 Kingpin get to.
Oh lord,
what
now
happened?
you've destroyed everything.
Give me a second.
Oh.
There.
Oh,
Oh my
screen
goodness,
capturing.
now it's even worse.
How's this
Oh yeah.
even? Okay, ready? Here, I'll even prove it.
Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, I can't do this right now. I mean, I can apply this and crank the fan speed up. Cover my broken everything.
Broken everything.
I mean, I can crank it up and it doesn't have an issue.
Oh no, you're missing the point. That's not how you overclock.
It's an easy way of doing it. It's a cheap
Yeah, but
way.
well, I mean, that's how you overclock, but you need to actually be in a game for it to use that.
I can't test it. I can't open
I mean,
anything up right now.
I could bump this card up to 2,000 megahertz and it's still gonna crash once I get into a game.
Good
You ruined
job,
everything,
baby
game.
farts.
I unruined it.
Good job, baby farts.
I unruined it.
You unruined it.
I unruined it.
Either I'm racist or everyone is black. They were for a moment, yes.
But yeah, this generation, the 900 series, is really, really well done. I mean, half and half. It's well done in the sense of the engineering, what the card is capable of doing at what the wattage is required and what temperature it pumps out. But the 700 series was just raw power.
Yeah.
So, and the reason why I say that's kind of different is because when you are using software and driver tricks to achieve the performance that you have on this generation, you have to hope that the developers in question are utilizing that type of information. Because if they're not, you're going to have a 970 that performs like a 760. So, you know, pound for pound, it's really like, do you trust the developers enough? Or do you just want something that you know is going to fucking work?
Yeah.
In that case, you want to go with the 700 series because there's no trickery going on there. That's just raw power.
We do not track opinions. Like Nate.
Alright.
Only on Tuesdays.
Where the fuck is what's his dick?
What's his name?
There was a person earlier today that was like, I need your information on overclocking. And I'm like,
Change your bios.
this isn't really the place to talk about that.
YouTube.
It was in Felix's channel. I don't remember what
YouTube.
we were talking about, but they were like, I want to overclock. Oh, it's set for. Never mind.
I like the 750 Ti. Wasn't a bad system.
No, it was.
750?
Yep. I just, you know,
Told you,
this
he
is-
hates
this is
everything.
this is unfair because this is just people that don't know what they're talking about to a person that does know what he's talking about. The 700 series was crap below the 770. The 760, the performance difference between the 760 and the 770 was huge, but the money not so much. The 750 Ti was get a 650 Ti boost. You'll stomp that thing.
I have to change the goddamn. Fuck my.
Just getting Shrek'd 100%. It's, you know,
You realize, sir,
750
that I'm
Ti
just trying
was
to mess with you.
You realize you're still wrong.
Yes, but I'm still going to mess with you.
You
Do it.
realize Guru has no pants on.
Do
Damn it.
I actually don't have pants on, and I'm sitting on Thor.
Who's Thor?
You want a picture?
No, I don't.
May your
Just
hammer
Google-
be mighty.
Just Google Thor dildo. It's the first link.
I will pass.
Aw, but it's a 2-foot long, 6-inch wide horse dildo that weighs 20 fucking pounds.
I can still see somebody using it.
Oh,
Yeah,
of course.
Spike Thor is a woman now.
Is he? Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, the Marvel Thor. I forgot about that.
Yep. Thor got a sex
I
change.
forgot about that.
Thor apparently
Spike
turned into a woman.
He took the bait. Your face is bait. Pursues 100.
His face is fire, actually.
Perseus. That would be Perseus, sir. That would be Perseus.
Listen!
No, it's Pursues.
I have an American education. You're wrong.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
That is Perseus. That is Pursuit.
I'm going to poke you
Pursue.
in the nipple with a large stick.
Is it Perseus? Okay, wait. He said Yas. So is it Perseus or Perseus? Or Perseus? Or Perseus?
Has this gotten confusing at all? Phonetically spell your name out for us, Perseus.
Phonetically? You mean phonetically?
Shut the fuck up, Game Guru.
Damn it.
You're not allowed to mute yourself, say words, and unmute yourself, you unfair fuck. That's okay. I busted a butt, Grumpy.
He pursues
Fantastic.
100 things. There you go.
Gentlemen, done here.
Yes, sir.
Are
we
we?
done here?
No,
I don't know.
go masturbate in the corner.
Sorry, we're dropping your cam score.
I think I think we've covered everything that we were intending on covering, correct? Everything's been
Yeah.
done. We did the PC budget walkthrough thing, which, by the way, if you don't have those links, I'll relink them.
I'm going to grab them all put together.
All right.
No, wait, we're not done yet? What did we forget? I mean,
Shut up.
Spike even talked about Bioshock today.
Yeah, many times. Still should have been a movie.
Still should have been a movie. I think Infinite wasn't too bad, though.
Infinite was an improvement over the previous ones, but it was still shit.
I'm not agreeing.
I haven't played any of them
I
yet.
like story. I like storyline of 1 and 2. I like the gameplay in 3.
You like the gameplay in 3?
Or like Infinite's gameplay a little bit more, yeah. Because you can't just pull out a wrench.
He's yeah, the guns had more usefulness, but you could only
Yes.
use fucking 2.
Yes, and locked it. What, you think you
No.
can carry around a full arsenal?
When you have a fucking arena-style shooter, only 2 guns is bullshit.
Do you think in real life you could carry around
Do
more
you
than
think
2
in
guns?
real life you could fucking fly 60 miles an hour with a hook on your hand across a pole?
Yes.
Yes, actually. It's been done.
Can you switch poles?
No. I think there's a stripper who would disagree with me, but
No, I think there's... Oh, dicks in my mouth.
I'm gonna start throwing this around. It'll make it easier.
We didn't cover police body cams. That's not gaming oriented, although it should happen, but it's not going to change anything because America's dumb.
Yeah, it's going to prove there because let's see, video clipping doesn't occur in the U.S. or anything.
Yeah.
Dun dun, dun failing
Or-
systems.
Or technical problems. He hit me in the chest. The cam doesn't work anymore. That's why he has a broken nose and a dislocated jaw that looked like it was clearly done by a
Because
metal
you know,
pole.
cop cams on police cars have always helped situations before.
Right.
Mass Effect 3
I
killed the
shot-
series.
I shot one bullet at the kid. That was it. Camera from down the street, dude. He dislodged like 3 clips and reloaded.
Only once? With 3 clips?
Only once with 3
With
clips.
3 clips?
Yes.
Did you know they're referred to as magazines?
Yes, sir.
Because a clip is something different.
Well, it depends on what gun you have.
No.
I have a clip of bullets that feeds my Magnum.
But that's a cylinder.
Yes,
That's not...
it's called a rush loader, sir. I will show you my gun sometime, sir. We will make a day of it.
And that guy that cried live on Twitch about it.
Already talked.
Actually, it was
Yeah, I
was
talked about
gaming oriented thanks to swatters.
Way to bring up old bullshit, Shadow. Fucking facehole.
I guess it's true.
Actually, what Mr. Euro said is now game oriented. Thanks. No, that's kind of really not, because they're still going to have to do it. Whether or not they're wearing body cams or not, the cops are still going to have to breach and go in fully armed. What's a camera going to do? You know what a camera's going to do? It's going to give a lawsuit because the poor kid who answered the door pissed himself, and he's going to be suing the freaking city for, oh, what's that car when you piss yourself during a car crash?
Wait,
You know what I'm talking about?
No,
There's a lot.
You could sue for urinating yourself in a car crash.
If you piss yourself in a car crash, you can sue for something, and I can't remember what it is. It's something really fucking stupid, but it's like $1 million lawsuit. It's like
I'm gonna go drive my car into a pole.
it's happened. That's all I know. No, it's only if somebody hits you.
I'm gonna go drive on the wrong side of the road.
This isn't Europe, sir.
My stomach just made an amazing sound.
What is it called?
It was butt grumpy oriented, but it was my stomach.
When somebody makes you cry in public, you are being
Publicly.
public humiliation. You can sue for a public humiliation. So that's the
For
only thing that would
urinating?
give you. If you urinate yourself and you get out of the car after you pissed yourself, you can sue for public humiliation. It has already been done. It's actually a pretty normal lawsuit these days.
Amazing. Amazing.
That's all it's going to do is, so the kid's going to be on camera pissing himself because he got swatted, and that's it. Game's over. Yes, you can sue for public humiliation. It is the stupidest thing ever, but go look it up. It's actually a real thing. It's like suing McDonald's for hot coffee. Except for that coffee. Okay, for everybody. I'm not going to bring that up because we're leaving.
Yeah.
Eventually. I'm not even going to that.
We're gonna call it.
Yeah.
Wait!
What? Dicks?
Are we waiting?
I don't know. What are we waiting for?
It's been almost 4 hours.
Really? I don't even look at clocks anymore. It saves me the trouble.
Half as good.
That was that game.
So that's been this very interesting episode of the Tip.
The hype. Sorry, game.
I'm sorry, what are you guys saying? I think I'm deaf in my right ear now.
Only if you jizz directly on her. That's how Rick will.
ME4 question? What's ME4? Mass Effect 4?
Nothing.
Oh, Mass Effect 4 question? Are you just, what question are you going to ask us? There's like no information
Yeah,
about Mass Effect
exactly.
4.
Fallout 4.
Are you guys hyped about the thing that probably has no behind it?
Nope.
Frostbite 3. That's all I know.
Fallout 4.
Hello, Kitty Island.
Cock-a-poo-poo!
God damn you.
Kitty Island Princess? What? Twat? Are you feeling better, sir?
Yeah, I think we're done.
Do you need the hammer?
Shameless shout outs! Game Guru first.
Okay.
GameGooru21, currently hardcore Dungeon Defenders 2 streamer primarily, and that's it. Otherwise, funny caster. Hi. Twitch.tv GameGooru21.
Self-proclaimed funny.
You can find him
Self-proclaimed
basically
podcaster.
anywhere GameGooru21.
Yes.
So
Twitter
go-
GameGooru21, Steam GameGooru21, Facebook GameGooru21, Twitch.tv
GameGooru22.
/GameGooru21.
22, just to fuck with.
I killed 1 through 20. I'm the 27. I'm the 21st.
Killed 1 through 20.
Well, what do you think
What
happened to the
fuck are
first
you doing
20?
over there?
Good job, Jacob. Fucking
What am I
Shrek
doing? Walking
nerd.
back and forth.
All right. I actually have a link to a video with a post that BioWare Spike is currently power fapping that BioWare took the original. Pretty sure another word for that is seizure.
I like having seizures. Spike.
Posts down because they weren't meant to go public just yet at the time. I already read that.
Thank you, Jacob.
Piss off, Jacob.
What's going on? What am I missing?
I
feel like I'm missing.
SpikeSethen. I'm live daily at my channel, the SpikeSethen. It's just SpikeSethen. There's no TV, even though I go by SpikeSethenTV everywhere because I'm a dumbass. Which you can find me everywhere else at SpikeSethenTV, but on Twitch it's just SpikeSethen. Probably because there's a TV part there. Anyway, I'm live daily. I'm a variety caster. I play many things, and I primarily try to shoot for as difficult and unmerciful environment as humanly possible. Unfortunately, there aren't very many games out there that I can do that, so what ends up happening is I punch a bear for 20 minutes. Skyrim.
Floating old ladies.
Floating
Yes.
old ladies.
Yes. Tomorrow I'm going to be ended up not casting at all, so don't look for me then. But Wednesday I'll be doing Dragon Age Origins on easy because fuck dice roll. Your turn, Nate.
It is not that hard.
Fuck that! Not that hard. It's not hard at all because it's dice roll.
Oh my god.
Dude, I have beaten that game like 6 times on Impossible in front of people. I must teach you the ways of Origins.
How about I just beat Origins and play Dragon Age 2?
There you go. I feel sorry for you.
Yep.
Mostly because you have to play Dragon Age 2.
Yep.
I'm the game pit. Apparently, I talk to these. Schedule is down below in the cast information.
You have a schedule now? Holy shit.
It's a rotating schedule because make sure to change every week. Shifts by it. So the updated schedule will always be down there. The days that I am live will always be Eastern, 7 p.m. And of course, there's a podcast here Monday nights. Tuesdays are usually co-op with Super Gray 38 when he's dying. And then Wednesday nights is Dead Wednesday with me and Spike.
When's the next late night Saints Row stream? Oh, those are over.
Yeah. That was you and Gandhi, wasn't it?
Yeah, that ended like a month ago. You're late, Euros.
So yeah, that's us.
Why you no cast, you fuck? What?
Who? Who cast? Oh.
Shut up.
Why you no cast, you fuck?
No, for you tomorrow.
Oh, I'm not casting tomorrow because Skittle Hunter's computer is going to be showing up tomorrow, and I'm going to be disassembling this machine, doing troubleshooting on this machine's parts and that machine to figure out which ones are broken. As far as I know, it could be the entire fucking system, so I'm just not doing anything tomorrow. Plus, I don't like Hitman. Oh, sorry.
There's not a reason there.
No.
All right, everybody.
That's the only reason. I just got to do stuff
check
tomorrow.
out.
So. Oh, you're not modded, Shadow? Maybe you shouldn't be a butthole.
Or talk about pizza. Fuck you.
Oh God, I put him on the ignore list. Sorry. I'm gonna mod you, Shadow. Too bad I don't know what you said anywhere.
All right, sir. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. I almost. Thank Thank you, everybody who did come out. Thank you, Spike, for being fantastic. Thank you, Guru, for subbing in at the last minute and being.
I'm expecting Game Guru to just like immediately disappear like he normally does when he's no longer needed. Don't you fucking do it right now after I said it. You're not
What?
fucking allowed to. No.
I'm not allowed to what?
No.
What am I supposed to do?
All right. I'm eating a potato.